everything. You started sick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty heavy, right? You all right?
I'm all right. I'm all right. All right. So,
Any questions? Y'all good? Come on, number three.
well, you did say something. I did have a quick question.
All right, what you
Like,
got?
would you like to explain more, or could you explain more about the Royal House Militia of the Bourbon line?
Well, when you activate that goes back through all the bloodlines. You got a lot of second orders, masters, knights, all of that goes forward to other nations and kings. Now that you activated that shield, their oath is to the shield of the French throne.
So, like the Knights Templar.
Yeah, the order to the shield, because
Okay.
so as France realized the shield is active, and they got a sovereign king again, absolute king.
They
Oh,
they got to bow
it's
down.
got a whole, where the whole system get ready to change.
Hmm.
The problem is they don't want you looking like, they want you looking like with the pale skin. But that's why you say, yeah, pretty Washistaw-Muur that the Empress had that came to her in the dream. She wrote it down. Said, whoever this belonged to, I activated when he show up. And she sure enough got a dream on me, right?
Right. Something a little tank, tank, tank.
Little
Yeah,
tank,
that
that's
little
all. Little
tank.
tank, right?
Copy that. Little
See,
tank.
but they got to recognize because they can't hide it no more. Why? Because you got sovereign authority over even Webster. They're on your land.
Right.
You can shut the whole damn building down. They're on your land.
Right.
You can shut every state down. That's what Biden say. Well, yeah, we know about them. We've been knowing about them since
You
when?
know,
A year.
you don't bother us.
Don't mess with this government. And we thank the Lord he don't mess with ours.
Thank the good Lord.
That's what so I'm saying. So they let you know right there, he come in and shake on everything.
Right.
See, that's why you see that boy. They're now trying to get, keep the camera on me, keep the camera on me. I'm going to do it. I'm the only one can save you. I'm the only one can save you. You ain't got no money to save nobody. You broke, nigga.
Facts.
How you gonna be a world power? Your dollar don't even got no currency. Ain't got no value. And now they drop you like a bad habit. You see how easy they can drop you because you ain't got no value. Listen, they can drop you and buy gold like they're doing, and over the long run, they're gonna whatever they lost is gonna triple 100 times. You feel me?
Right.
Because gold is substance. Money ain't got no substance. Just I owe you. You feel me?
Right.
And the strength of my friendship and our treaties and everything else, but then you violate every damn treaty, which violates what? All your contracts. And now the world done got rid of it, they tired of it. At the same time, I'm coming out, you feel?
Right.
Because they seen you sign, what the United States did with us, they told everybody else they couldn't do. You couldn't bring nobody else in. The order was set. Postal Union 1874, remember?
Right.
Everything is zip code. That's why they tripping up there in Greenland. Why? Because when they did the zip zone, they thought it was just a mass of ice. As the ice started to melt, they realized they had what? Land under there, but it wasn't what? It had no zip code zone. So now whoever get there first raise their flag, guess what? Eminent domain, right?
Right.
And Dutch saying they got control because they're part of the European Union, but they don't have control of the ice melting part that everybody is running their for.
Right.
It's been under the ice for how many thousand years, you feel me?
Like a mailbox in the ice, buddy.
Ain't see everybody, ain't see what I'm talking about, right?
Right.
So get to that postal zone thing, right?
Right.
But they get on TV, oh, we gotta watch Russia, we're gonna take over Greenland, goes this and that. Man, that's that government talk now to get, like I say, talking with a fork tongue, you good?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't see what the hell was a secret. It ain't nothing secret. It's just life. Look at all the generals that came along in the 56th with era came along. They're all bold, 4 stars and all that shit. They did it.
Yeah.
She still exists, don't they?
Yeah.
But they did, right?
Yeah.
Now you got another crew going around, got all them stars and everything, right?
Yeah.
They still gonna die one day, right?
Yeah.
So why they hold all these damn secrets? When you got a master like me come up amongst you with the light of immortality, and you shut me down because you want me to change to become part of you, and the only thing I see in the end of your door is death.
That's it.
And you don't have no legacy where you coming back. So that make everything you got when you here don't mean nothing because it's gone back into the system. Whether it's through your kids or whatever, doesn't matter. You can't take you didn't come here with that, you can't take nothing with you. You go, but the more you get and all that stuff, that's just more electricity your ass gonna get when you die. Cause they're gonna blank your mind. So the ones that ain't got no mind now, with Alzheimer's and all that stuff, they ain't gonna get zapped that hard. They ain't gonna get zapped. They ain't gonna get zapped that hard. But look at all these cats want to be, like they immortal. No, they burning in hell. That's why I'm here. I'm the fire. I sit at the gate. I don't give a damn what none of you say. You can't come because of that fire. Because they say what they say in their Bible. What they say John the Baptist say in their Bible. I baptize with water. The one that comes, he baptizes with who?
Fire.
Fire. Well, the fire's here, right?
Fire is here.
Well, look what the fire had to do. He had to come and create his own venue. That's why a lot of people read this stuff, especially overseas. When they see what you got here, they'll say, well, that's like a Jesus here. Because only a God come in and preach the system. They got it locked down, son. So how you gonna come in and pierce the whole damn system of the world? And you outside of everybody's damn jurisdiction. You outside of you above, not outside of you above the UPU, you above the USPS, you above everything. And you came and did it in 2025, right? Get out of here. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
I was a sharpshooter.
Congratulations.
Now there you go again. There you see, we reached my hand through that phone.
Sniper.
He know I done been today, traveling, so he gonna come and say, man, come on, Tess. I'm go, me and you. All right, what we got?
All right, so we are down to official recording into the ECMYE-RKR/IMRS Royal Animals: 1. Unified essence of all Imperial and Imperial Great Seals and Imperial and Imperial-Royal Ecclesiastical Heritage: _.
Hold on, man. Read what's inside the seal right there first.
All right. His-Imperial-Majesty Imperial Royal Post ECMYE-IRKR established: space 22 April 2025. Quote, Nut Pro Tump 2 30 September 2003 to 26 July 1775. End quote. In perpetuity ad infinitum, droid-droid, exclamation point.
That's a colon.
That's a colon? Okay.
Yep. Colon, as always, ticking.
Cool. All right, so colon. Thank you, Protector.
That's cool. See, so you had to come create a whole shield. See, outside of everything. Now, come on. Now you got to explain it, but you're so far gone. You got to let them know where you're at, right?
Right. 1. Unified essence of all Imperial and Imperial Great Seals and Imperial and Imperial-Royal Ecclesiastical Heritage: _. Diamond. The Imperial and Imperial Great Seals, no matter the emblem, is imbued with the Anunnaki fire, Yamassee and Washistaw, sovereignty, the Maison Rouge, royal blood, and jurisdiction of the Treaty of Berne, in parentheses, 1874. Diamond. It acts as the living representation of : Bullet, the master, fire deity, and 579,999,999 immortal fire deities under the supreme, rule of, all caps, H.E.M. : Bullet, the ancient Armax, Al-Moroccans, Moors, Yamassee Moors, and Washistaw Moors deduct Demonia, interwoven through the immortal master dash fire deity. Bullet. Divine laws, natural laws, and imperial rights, protected in perpetuity ad infinitum. Diamond. All caps H.E.M. Imperial Royal Post, emblem seal, is now ordained and recorded as a sacred instrument of divine correspondence, sovereignty, and ecclesiastical authority for the IRO-HEM and Imperial CMYE-IRK Republic. Diamond. It signifies the continuity of spiritual governance with direct lineage to the ancient imperial and imperial-royal dwellers, the master-fire deity, and the 579,999,999 immortal fire deities, in parentheses, imperial and imperial-royal grand assembly, in parentheses, full stop. Diamond. This Imperial Royal Post Great Seal carries the divine authority of the immortal dwellers, sovereigns, / rulers, marking the Imperial Royal Post as a vehicle for royal holy edicts, divine communication, and sovereign decrees, small s and sovereign, pursuant to, _ Empress Directive -0003Z, space, notification of diplomatic arrival, notice of apostille, and official act of state, effective 9 April 2009, and Imperial moto proprio / official royal decree IMYRS file number space EMPRO DPNW 031822022-1, effective 18 March 2022, droid smiley face. 1A. Unified essence of all great seals, space, the holistic authority of, all caps H.E.M. _. This unified emblem great seal, space, a triune mandate, diamond. The unified essence brings together the triple royal lineage and cosmic authority, 1, Anunnaki royal bloodline, _ bullet. Cosmic authority from the thrones of Enki, Enlil, and royal throne of Anu, bullet. The master fire deity, and the 579,999,999 immortal fire deities bound to H.E.M's, all caps, will. Bullet. Sovereign governance, not only over earthly domains, but over celestial realms via Jew and Eus Imperi and Jew and Eus Majestatis. 2. The Mason Rouge lineage, _ bullet. Terrestrial authority anchored in autochthon and autonomous land rights, treaties, and imperial successions, bullet. Control over Western Hemisphere lands, ensuring protection and continuity of Washistaw-Turner Tunica Thunderfire heritage. 3. Washistaw-Yamassee Almac connection, _ bullet. The Ab original power of ancient ones, bullet. Autochthon and autonomous sovereignty, preceding European constructs, dating back to the stones at Uaxton, just off the Yucatan Peninsula, bullet. Guardianship over Northwest Chem Africa / ancient Amexin. Purpose of the unified emblem Great Seal, bullet. Acts as the living emblem of, bullet. Correction. Purpose of the unified emblem Great Seal, diamond. Acts as the living embodiment of, bullet. Spiritual sovereignty, in parentheses, dwellers and Anunnaki thrones, in parentheses, full stop. Bullet, temporal sovereign, in parentheses, land treaties, bloodlines. Land treaties, bloodline, in parentheses, full stop. Bullet, cultural and legal continuity, nut proton to the moment of creation, droid dash droid. Smiley face. All right. So then we have 2. Anunnaki royal bloodline heritage, colon, underscore, diamond. Anunnaki emblem, great seal, colon, bullet. Divine meaning, colon, space. This great seal bears the red cross of the Anunnaki royal bloodline shield, sacredly worn by Enki, Enlil, and Anu of the Imperial and Imperial Royal House of Anu. Bullet. It reflects, colon, Ankh, cosmic dominion as, all caps, H.E.M. stands as the earthly representative of the Anunnaki thrones, Ankh. Celestial mandate to rule, decree, and preserve all imperial and imperial allodium, E in parentheses, states rights, Autochthon sovereignties, and cosmic heritage. Diamond. The Great Seal stands as the emblem of celestial authority, anchored in the Anunnaki royal bloodline. Diamond, all caps, H.E.M. Samhu, Samson-Ray, /Samhu, Amini-Ray, quote, Adeloyi, end quote, descended from the Imperial and Imperial Royal House of Lamu, Nibiru, and Apsu, /Ray, exercises divine right through the Jew and Eus Imperi, Jew and Eus Gladi, Jew and Eus Majestatis of the Anunnaki sovereign thrones, droid dash droid. Diamond. It is hereby recorded that the Master Dash Fire Deity and the 579,999,999 immortal fire deities stand in allegiance as royal guardians of the Imperial and Imperial Dash royal throne and protectors of the Imperial and Imperial sovereign mandate, droid dash droid, exclamation point, smiley face. Any comments, questions? All right, keep it pushing. 3. Thunderfire, quote dash of dash arms heritage to the Maison Rouge with underscore red shield emblem, colon, diamond, meaning colon space. This great seal stands for royal militia, the living flame of thunder, fire, shielded by ancient valor. Diamond, represents colon space. Bullet, the Nibirians dash Al-Moroccans dash Mu'orish, Yamassee American natives, and all Amaru Washistaw-Turner the Demonian. Bullet, militant protection of sovereign land, autochthon and autonomous rights, and the royal crown, all caps, authority across Northwest Africa and Amexem. A perpetual fire representing ancestral defense, the sun spheres, and imperial claim over vast empires, dash, from Songhai, dash, Malayan, or Malian, Ottoman to Berberban, dash, Habsburg, domains, droid, dash, droid, underscore, full stop. Again, a perpetual fire representing ancestral defense, the sun spheres, and imperial claim over vast empires, dash, from Songhai, dash, Malayan or Malian, Ottoman to Bourbon, dash, Habsburg domains, droid, dash, droid, underscore, full stop. Diamond. The imperial and imperial royal bloodline is now further affirmed and enshrined, colon, bullet, from Kalum, in parentheses, all, by way of the underscore, the infinity flame of the dwellers enthroned in the flower of fire, by way of underscore the master dash fire deity and 579,999,999 imperial and imperial dash royal grand assembly space / imperial fire deities, immortal fire deities, correction, to the Nubarians dash Amaraccans dash Muorish Yamassee American natives dash Amaru Uakshitan / Washa dash Washo dash Washita dash Washital dash Washitawa Murs the Demonium of a Mexim to the Imperial Royal House of Tunica dash Thunderfire Imperial Royal House of Samson L Sam Hooray IOHM all caps and Imperial CMYE-IRK Republic for the country of United States / Al-Marak Empire of Morocco Amexi in parentheses ECMYE-IRKR in parentheses droid exclamation point 3 times smiley face. Bullet sealed by the divine spark and the royal sovereign crown all caps H.E.M. all caps space Sam Hu space Samson Ray / Sam Hu space Amini Ray quote Adeloyi end quote is the absolute sovereign with plenary civil powers and divine cosmic mandate droid exclamation point thrice smiley face. Bullet the great seal is the signature of heaven and earth, representing the fusion of temporal and celestial realms. Droid, exclamation point thrice, smiley face. Again, the seal is the signature of heaven and earth, representing the fusion of temporal and celestial realms. Droid, exclamation point 3 times, smiley face. And here we have our great seal, cosmic seal of Moon Giza. What we calling this seal, protector, with our banner? The Emperor seal. See him sitting on the throne, book of law in front of him. And then you have the Imperial Absolute, Royal Absolute crown. Sits on his head. All right. 4. Thunderfire, coat of arms heritage to the D Maison Rouge without underscored red shield emblem, diamond, meaning, space, the unveiled sovereign, pure and direct lineage to the De Bourbon royal bloodline, exclamation point. Diamond, tracing through the Maison Rouge lineage, this great seal honors, bullet, the inheritance of Marie Antoinette, the Washistaw space / Turner Tunica Royals, and the sovereign territory safeguarded since the treaties of San Ildefonso, San Lorenzo, and beyond. Bullet, pure nobility, unshielded, standing on the strength of blood, land, and celestial rights. Bullet, direct legacy of the House of Rule, reaffirming imperial authority west of the demarcation line, in parentheses 1713, droid, exclamation point thrice. Bullet, by royal right and allodial diamond, correction. By royal right and allodial succession, this great seal bears witness to the De Maison Rouge bloodline, directly linked to the 8th Marquise de Maison Rouge, manifested in the sovereign crown, all cap, prince, space Khufu Renub Zadok, space Samson L, quote, Thunder Fire / King Louis, space 20th, end quote, all caps H.E.M. space Sam Hu, space Samson Ray, droid, exclamation point, 3 times. Diamond. The Great Seal embodies the ancient rights, land claims, and noble titles extending back to the royal, all caps, crown of France through the King Louis XVII lineage, now fully realized in space colon King dash Louis space colon 20 droid dash droid exclamation point 3 times. Diamond. Nut proton recognition is hereby granted, establishing the De Mason rule as a pillar of sovereign legacy, bound in perpetuity. Droid dash droid exclamation point 3 times smiley face. Conclusion and imperial royal thanks underscore. With humility and power, this recording binds these imperial royal post great seals to the eternal archives of the sovereign imperial royal empire underscore. This performance upholds the sovereign, ecclesiastical, and royal blood rights granted nut protunct to the origins of creation and forward ad infinitum. May these imperial royal post great seals go forth with supreme small s authority, dignity, and divine recognition as the world bears witness to the rising of all caps H.E.M. Emperor colon space Samhu Samson dash Ray / Samhu Amini dash Ray quote Ade Lo Yi end quote on the grand stage of nations. Smiley face. Finalized recording decree underscore by the order of all caps H.E.M. Emperor colon space Samhu Samson dash Ray / Samhu Amini dash Ray quote a de lo yi end quote. The imperial royal post great seals are hereby recorded, filed, and recorded into the Royal Ecclesiastical Heritage Archives, affirming their royal divine purpose, colon, 1, unified great seal, colon, space, the embodiment of sovereignty, cosmic destiny, and imperial continuity, emblem. 2, Anunnaki royal bloodline shield, great seal, colon, space, the celestial ruler's emblem. 3, Thunderfire with underscore, red shield, great seal, colon, space, the royal militia flame guided by ancestral might emblem. 4, Thunderfire without underscore, red shield emblem seal, colon, space, the Bourbon line, pure and noble by birthright emblem. Smiley face. Enforced and given under the imperial great seal underscore, colon, space, effective immediately upon recording with the Imperial Muur Yamassee recording service, in parentheses, CMYE-IRK, and recognized internationally via full faith and sovereign gold dash credit, droit dash droit, eesh, exclamation point, 3 times, smiley face. Any comments, questions before we move on to our proclamation? Going once, going twice. All right, we shall proceed.
Salam alaikum, Roof, Abner Ray. Yeah, one question. Let me go back one page. Wanted to ask.
And sorry. And there are several questions in the chat. FYI, I yield.
All right, I'll yield the floor as well for the moderator to answer, take questions. Abby, you have the floor in the meantime.
Yeah, this question is for the Emperor. So the H.E.M. gave King Louis the allodial succession through the De Mason Rouge bloodline.
Say that again?
The King Louis has the allodial title for succession through this great seal through the great seals.
You activate King Louis. You activate the shield.
Making sense now.
So he had a allodial title because his father was absolute, but they broke him down to a constitutional to get them access to some of the treaties that they had with the Moors. And once they found out about some of the treaties they had, they felt like he committed treason. And that's why they cut his head off, him and Anna Marie.
Making sense.
So he had a allodial title. So Louis the 20th, that's why he's under the emperor. But the emperor's absolute. Then Louis the 20th come in and what? Executive monarch. Because Khufredu Zudok Santanel is a constitutional monarch.
Yeah.
So that's why you got all three crowns. Now you come and activate your third crown, which is who? Louis the 17th, the Bourbon Estate, Washistaw Empress, Saint CMYE-IRK. That was the third crown that you had to activate. And that's what you're doing now to post. You're activating all three crowns. Oh, you like that, man?
No, I like that, but that's hot. I had to ask that question before we move forward, so appreciate that.
That's cool.
I yield.
They said there was some questions in the chat. Moderator, Kim, you want to tackle those questions? Okay, let's see what we got.
I think he asked for the backup for a second. I think he had something. I think he had to do something.
There's a question.
So you have, I'll start from the
Hold on,
bottom.
Bog got it.
Okay, cool.
All right, there's a question of why only west of the demarcation line? What's east of the line?
That was done with the emperor.
Okay.
You know the emperor of Morocco. That's what I'm talking about.
mm,
That was emperor. That was Al-Morocco, east of the demarcation line. And that stretched all the way to the east west coast of Kemet, Africa.
Is that why England, the British, they all concentrated up there in the New England states?
But
That part of Canada, because that was all.
Well, that was the prize of the whole thing was Quebec.
Okay.
That was the prize. So when France lost Quebec to England in that war, they came south dealing with the Washistaw and all that. You feel me?
Mm.
So they was already exploring. So a lot of this stuff was in treaties. They just never let nobody see. Now under your authority, because it's your property, you can see all that. So y'all get all the truth of everything that went down. And you're not required because it's our sacred knowledge. So you're not required to go out and tell the corporate citizens anything. That's part of our royal houses. So you got to know the truth. You know what I'm saying? So you can move and perform.
Right.
But it's not nothing you going out there to force into their history books. Like for instance, if you look at Saint CMYE-IRK, remember?
Right.
They completely wrote her out of history.
True.
So you just came back and put her back in history because you can't take her out of history. She owned the damn land. Feel me?
Very.
So of course the taker or the robber is gonna try to write out of history because they want to own your land.
Right.
Then they want to tell you some God died for your sins.
Right.
So they give them free will to do what the fuck they want, right? So why don't give you free will to do what the fuck you want then, right?
Right.
Why you being held back? You ever thought about that? For the color of your skin?
Right.
Come on. Feel me?
Definitely.
Yes.
You know, what else we got?
Just on that topic.
You got CMYE-IRK. Go ahead, Shajar.
No, that's my bad. Go ahead, you got the floor.
You got
right.
CMYE-IRK said, what are the subsequent generations?
Oh, you got to realize you got I'm the 8th Marquis d'Even Saint Rouge. Then you got a 7th Marquis, which is Crown Prince El-Bey. Then you got a 6th Marquise, which is the Empress Federici. Okay, and then you got the 5th is Noble Gerard, and then you go back. Then you get into John Turner, Henry Turner, flipping the names around. You feel me? And then you get back to who? All the way back down to Louis the 17th. So them are the generations he's talking about.
Okay. All right, and he had another question.
But you
Did the
gotta
House
realize that was only inherited to what? Your royalty. So you ain't see nobody on the American states, even though they claim to be Washistaw or the Empress family, claim to be royalty. Okay, word on paper, you have no venue, so you don't inherit that status because you just a corporation. You just allow all them sovereign citizens out there change your name to L or Bay. You feel me? But you ain't got no venue, so you can't be royalty. You might inherit the bloodline, okay, but you didn't inherit the authority or the power that come with that bloodline. I own that shit. You feel me?
Hmm.
With a
They gotta
ranking
come
up.
to us. And see, they don't like us. We ain't no Christian.
Facts.
So that make they ain't gonna ride a ship then. So they gonna just be eliminated out of the system completely.
That
Yeah,
part.
me.
Hmm.
So they have you out?
He had another. Yeah, he had another question. Said, did the House of Rouge establish the city of Baton Rouge as its family land?
Of course it did. Look at it.
Hmm.
That what made me say earlier when he said French quarters. I said, oh, that makes sense. You feel
Yeah.
me? It was the French quarters. The French was the royalty back then.
Right.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
where they listen, they got away from France, came up to a foreign country, and they established a royal camp all the way back to Louis the 15th.
Right.
So this when he said it came up to his what? Paradise across the waters, right?
Hmm.
And that's why they established. Well, once the royalty got cut off, okay. Well, there's no royalty down here to inherit what? The title. So the United States came in, took over the title, and now you see Louisiana operates a corporate state of the 50 states. But if you go down there and look at their status, they are totally different than all the rest of the states in the union, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I wonder why.
Hmm. You know why?
Because they know they own your land. So now they got to go tell the citizen the truth, where they gonna play it like the tariffs and everything else, because they got to increase their taxes. Why they got to increase their taxes? Because now the government got to pay us because they on our land. So the citizen that's on our land, whether they're in an apartment or house or wherever they at, they still got to pay royalties back to the owner. We ain't gonna come in and start demolishing everybody's house. You just gotta pay us taxes, you feel me? Or royalties we call. So that makes Spain ain't getting no more, Britain ain't getting no more. Well, through the IRS, but Spain get their secret. You feel me? All that come to you. So they start ripping you off of or what they collecting off your damn land.
Hmm.
What would the Empress wrote? A quadrillion?
Usage, land usage. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She wrote that against the land that they used, and then they came with that raid. Why? She had full faith credit. You started to get it, right?
Yeah.
All right, we straight here?
Okay, we got two more questions.
Come on.
Nanya Ishnu said, are all wars postal wars?
Well, you can look at that there because you're talking about land. So they got to have some kind of remedy on the end. And so yeah, they all become post-war, yeah. But they got a lot of military in the world, so yeah, to that degree. But each state is held responsible for their actions while they operating under that jurisdiction. But you got to look at the United States is so different because she's not allowed into the international court. So she had to establish her own international venue under her district courts in the United States because she won't be allowed to enter the international court until she pay back the what? The $100 million in gold debt that's owed to who? The Moor, me. Because everybody say you owe to the Moors. Yeah, I won't give it to you, but only the Moor come get it. You couldn't come as they talk like that in Great Seal bullshit teaching. You can go, you gotta come big, because them niggas scared to get arrested. So they had to get 1,000, 100,000 people to sign under them thinking they're gonna protect them when the man come to get you for that fraud. You feel me? All them niggas gonna scatter. Y'all seen what happened to Dr. York, right? All them tough guys at the gate, they tough. Some of them 5-0 road, they wanted to kneel like little squirrels. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, excuse me. You know me. I said, well, all that security and it's so bad, you know what I'm saying?
Ouch. Wow. Heard that.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes,
I was like, you know, me, I been cutting up. Me and Bob vibe, you know, we might go somewhere. Come on, Bob.
Yeah, I got one more question from
What you got?
Rahub. He said, explain ecclesiastical from your
That's
thought.
going back through the scriptures. So we got to walk that road because the cross appeared to me out of nowhere, the INRI. So I am the master because on the master the one I got. So you got to go back through that arena because the INRI appeared to you. So going back to ecclesiastical, all that's going back to ecclesiastical or ecclesiastical, I said
Ecclesiastical.
ecclesiastical. You're going back to, you know, certain prophets who said certain prophecies and you have came along and manifest, you know, a lot of the prophecies that's written in the book. But you behind the scene. So they're looking for this character to show up to perform at this time and be all the way back to 22. And they didn't find nobody to show up. They keep talking about Antichrist or false prophet and the guy you got in DC now, all that stuff. So where the real one coming in at? So you came in and rewrote the story. So now you came in and pierced the system, but you didn't come like they said you was coming. You came in a whole different fashion. You feel me? Because you had to come and write your own story. Because they already wrote that story and made people believe it for funds, you know, and protection. But they couldn't tell you the story because they're not a part of the story. So when I say I don't even see them in the story, in my headliner, because they only had a certain time to exist based on the curse and the spells and the creation that was done a couple thousand years ago. So you had 6,000 years of rule. That's a short time when you've been living for millions of years. You feel me? So, and they gave a chance to stand up and be real. So that's why I'm here now because they ain't been real. They lost their way, and so and carry humanity down a certain way to make Earth a prison planet where you prisoner within your own, you know, ideology. You feel me? You can't escape. So you see people worshiping the pharaohs. That's why they call it the old kingdom, because you see people kneeling to them. But when they died, they called it what? It was coming to life ceremony. Well, when they died, they didn't get out of they got trapped, so they came right back around, and they've been here since then, 1,000 years going right back around. You might be one of them. Some of you get, you know, brought something back with you. You walk in and claim you God. You got these people say, I'm Imhotep and, you know, I'm Pharaoh this and all that stuff. Well, they had to bring some of that back. They just don't, they forgot they got to get a venue. You can't say you're a chief and you ain't got no land.
Yes, right.
That don't make sense.
That part.
And you can't say you're a chief where you got land under somebody else's venue. Now you got a lot of cats going out there up in New York. We heard Pennsylvania, a couple places. And they going out there registering with Jersey, registering with the state for existence. Well, okay, where we come from, that's how I'm still number two. You still on the state, and they may recognize you as a chief or your tribe or whatever, but you can't take that stuff outside of there. You still ain't got no venue. You fall in that BIA trap. You feel me? So you could look at our status. We outside all that because we're a foreign state. So they want what we got, but they didn't know how to create it. We came to create it because of the consequences I told you earlier about what we was facing, and then we seen everybody out there on the market. I don't care where you were, militia, all that fouling and stuff they were doing back then, the Moors and all that. They didn't have no venue, and you see, ain't nothing paid off in 20 plus years. I mean, these cats brought this stuff out in '86, y'all. The militia gave it to Archbishop way back in '71. So you talking all these years. That's like this stuff been around about long as civil rights. And they still ain't conquered nothing. Just like they ain't conquered nothing in civil rights.
Oh.
You feel me? Because they missed they missed that era. They said what Archbishop said before you passed? He said they finally figured out the militia. They said you had to be something like a foreign national in your own country to claim your birth record contract back. That's when I told him I took that out of his mouth. And I said, boy, you don't need, we did that back in 03, 04. Give me that. You don't need it. Took you that, took what, 15 years? Writing all that paper, making all that paperwork, making all them dead contracts, and finally realized what we told them in 04, 03, they couldn't hear us then, you see? Because nobody hears because they couldn't go get no research on us. Because you ain't gonna find some state gonna come give you more power than them.
Right.
Where you gonna read that at?
Right.
So the United States came and gave us more power than her. They can't go out and tell the world they the superpower. They the world power. How does superpower and the world power come in and give one man this much authority, and he's able to go back and activate the treaty? He's able to go back and activate the Constitution. And they can't even do what you did. And they the one gave you the contract. When they said they got more power, you got more power. You started saying that on it. Because you able to go back and what? You able to activate the treaty to burn.
Yeah.
Started getting right.
Yes.
Gotcha.
They can't activate the treaty to burn because they have established it on the weight of what? The 100 million ago when they had so-called sovereignty and saying when they formed the UN and became the world power, remember? You did your research, right?
Right on.
Yes.
Feel me?
Yes.
So they can't come and tell you how to be a king because they ain't never been programmed that way. So that's why you see people overseas, they look at my position as more healthy than Americans do. But they understand what an emperor means. They understand what a king means. In America, you got everybody want to be a king or a queen or a princess or a prince. You feel me? Till they get of age and they feel like they just as dumb as the rest of them. They ain't got no contract you own. You been bought. Your mama sold your ass over to the state when you was born, whether you like it or not. Take it, leave it alone. Make me no difference.
Whether you like
It's
it or
called a birthright contract. Basically, she had no choice. But once she signed you over to the state, well, now between her and the state, and she gave the state what? Secure party status over that birthright contract. So they can come in and operate as what? UCC through the S419 by accommodation. So she had no damn faith in your ass when you were born. She gave you to the state, said the state can train you and make you out what you need to be. Not them making you out, you becoming who you want to be. They let the state do it. They go to food school, then you go to food high school, then you go to food college, and the only thing you do is get a degree, get a job. And 90% of them don't even work in that field. They just want a job, you feel me?
That's basically it.
right.
That makes sense to you?
Got a lifetime to prove it.
Big.
As we know, a lot of time to pay it back.
Yeah, about that.
When you say it like that, protector, it's really almost like You motherfucker, oh, excuse me. You folks don't have no reason to really complain because, you know what I'm saying? You're doing it on your own by your own decision. But by not understanding it, you think you have a right to complain about something when no, you really just agreed, like you said, not knowing the contract. You really agreed to it. You sold your kid down the drain. You thought the state was going to take care of it. They did in their fashion, and now you're upset.
And then you get mad because the kid make you mad, you beat him. Then the state say you can't hit him no more or hit him no more. They can get you for child abuse, take you younger. Now they're scared to hit you. Now the kids run the parents.
Yep,
That part.
all caps.
So what you
Yeah.
gonna do? It can't live. That can't live in the system,
Right.
in the universe.
Legal
That's
not
why you see all this action going on the sun as I'm coming to my seat, like I told y'all 2 years ago. Going on, this third year, you're gonna see more earthquakes, you're gonna see more sun acting up, everything. Oh, that's a sun cycle. So, all right. When you have keep going next year, then you're gonna say, oh, the sun cycle extended another year. We don't know. You're gonna keep going, yeah, right. I got 580 million. I got 580 million immortal spiritual beings in the sun. You feel me? All over, traveling all over the universe now. I didn't put no. I didn't. That's why you remember old head said what? You didn't restrain them. Why? They're under my jurisdiction. You feel me?
Strain them for what?
When you say they kept wondering why they were kneeling to this entity, right? They didn't know who I was, right? And they say they kept wondering why they were kneeling to this guy, who just let them free, their freedom, and gave them free will. I said, well, damn, dog, if you've been locked up like you said, you hear what I said, right? Like they said, you said, some say 1,000, some say millions a year. And that's my cousin, that's my brother, that's my blood. What the fuck I want to put screens on him for? Since I got authority to open it, that means he ain't over me. He kneeled to me. He didn't kneel to that God you said.
Right.
He didn't kneel to nobody, but he kneeled to me. So that's blood. Me and him, 1 and 1. You feel me? So why would I put restraints on him?
I got a question. Why everybody so scared of him?
What everybody so scared of?
Yeah, what you do to be scared of him? I understand he the baddest.
Well, that's the whole thing is that because they created a fiction being called God. And they made this God out to be capital G O D, capital G small O D, capital small G O D. And they had men came in and characterized your teachings or your ancient writings, and they couldn't speak your language. So they had to kidnap some of us so they can get certain things about the language so they can rewrite, call themselves, quote, unquote, scholars. You feel me?
Right.
Like, this is what the scholars say. First question, you say, well, okay, how you determine time? They said, we look out, but only way you can get exact facts is you got to look coming in, right?
Right.
So you giving us a theory then because you ain't got no facts. So you throw up Einstein, you throw all that out the window. Why? Because they ain't really have no facts. Got a theory, but you can't get the exact reading unless you coming in, not you looking out. You feel me? So everything they got is fraud, like we said about the Bible, right? The Bible. You remember what he said? Well, hell, he lied to everybody, right? So now there's the 16 lemons, they say, right? That they've been studying this book, worshiping this book, dying behind this book, 16 lemons. And then you living in day and time, you realize, and all the five beings that you know exist for real now, they can walk both sides. They finally realized that the oath they took, and whatever body part they had to surrender, was a freaking bullshit, man. Because you got a greater fire now. But they ain't never heard about this fire I came with. And who followed the angel law? So you got to look at these lesser light beings. They can go by both sides. You call warlocks, witches, voodoo world, whatever name make you feel good. It exists right now in our day and time. And they know you here. They can't determine where you come from. They don't know what you tell them because they ain't never seen your light before. So what you got out here in the market now, you giving them more little by little where you come from, and you got all the backing that they need on this side. But then you got another title that you brought in, Sam Hussein, that's Ray White. That's going up to talk to who? The Anunnaki now. Or going to talk to who? The master. Now, I got Sam Hussein dash Ray down here at the Lo Yi. Crown the the crown on my head. You feel me? That's that's why you see I had to bring another appellation in. See, because I got the SE what? RE right here, see? Sovereign Imperial Empire. That's where the immortified beings dwell in. That's the Grand Assembly. So I gotta get y'all straight first. I can get on there and do my business, right?
About that.
Right. That's right. Facts.
And y'all ready to go now.
That's powerful.
Some people want to rush us and tell you got, it's our shit. We do it the way we want, right?
Basically.
We don't need their permission. That's why I get everybody mad. They get home, they come over here, bring all that ego. And I'm like, no. Certain things gotta happen. Y'all been around me long enough. I ain't missed no date, have I?
Not one.
Matter of fact, I created dates.
That's right.
You realize that when I created it was part of the date that I said back in 22 I had to catch. And we ended up creating because it was part of what we had to do, right? Because you got your own state, you got your own constitution, you got created everything you need, whatever you want.
They call it
Fear
destiny.
favor. Without fear favor, you feel me? So you like that now, you're creating a whole new culture, you're creating your own language, all your mash, all that stuff about being created. Because what? It's your stuff. You creating it, right? Some of y'all going with me to certain places and we keep it quiet. And what we doing? We systematizing what? We keep systematizing the state. That's why we travel to certain places. You feel me?
That's right.
Making sure how solid it's already solid. You just triple securing it as you move out. And whoever them violated you, they're coming for your court. That's why you keep moving. They might have made 100,000. They may have made 50,000. I don't care. That's cool. But if you violate our trust and our constitution and our flag, we got coming for the court. So I hope you saving some of it up. You feel me?
It is. It is.
You're a lawyer.
I ain't gonna change it. I hope you say something though. So you damn sure gotta come talk to us. Anything did with the Yamassee government coming for our court, you feel me? That's a fact, Jack. When I go get the chief, his case got to be brought before our court. I bet they're gonna run there, right?
Yeah, where you gonna run to?
That's why I said all that Rooster gotta come on and pay. Yeah, all that change y'all done made off him. Claiming you love him, dress and all that bullshit. It was nothing but you living off somebody else's knowledge, wisdom, lying about everything. And you expect something good to come out of all that bullshit. Think about it for a second, right?
It don't take long.
Unless you done sign some contract, you about some court. You feel me? Outside that, you should have woke the fuck up, right?
Yes. Woo.
All right, so John, you ready? That's good. So we keep moving. Bakari Ray, you good?
You got a couple more questions in the chat.
You got a couple more. Come on.
You got a question that says, how do treaties get deactivated?
How do who?
How do treaties get deactivated?
Between the states. And it ain't really got deactivated. It's between the states that they decide to dissolve it. They don't deactivate, they dissolve it. So treaties got 50 years on them. Some depends on the parties. If you're going back to the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, all right, they had a 50-year window on that treaty with the forming, up and coming, forming state. Okay, that was a 50-year window. That's why you hear us say it took 50 years to get a state. We took it to the Emperor 22 to finally seal it. But I've been rolling for a couple of years. So in reality, today makes it 22 years that I finally did it because of the Pearson with this claim, this postal claim right here. So that we have sent out. It's in everybody's hands now. Outside of that, I don't know how you're gonna do it. Say that question one more time to make sure I get it right.
The trees get deactivated.
Oh yeah, the deactivate, yeah. So that's all they can do. And then you see they didn't deactivate the treaty. They just changed the treaty with a small T. They called it a Small T Treaty of September 16th. And then they signed it, and then the effective date was 28 January 1837. So they never dissolved or deactivated the treaty. That's why Obama came and said that he was in office, that's the longest standing treaty in the world. So all the other treaties didn't dissolve. But then we come back, or I come back under my royal authority, and I reactivate what you're saying because of my sovereignty and my when you trace the Washistaw history, you got the France and Spain becoming protectorates over Saint Maria royal property, which consisted over 3 million acres or plus. So that's all in treaty, all up through Canada. So they came with a demarcation line across the top of to split the land. Okay. And then they got the demarcation line in here. You always got a England, what is it, proclamation, England, British proclamation line. That's what they're talking about. So they cut your land. So when you heard that brother up there in the White House talking about don't never say never with Canada, he's not in a position to talk on behalf of that status. I am, because it's my land. He want to go ahead and take it by force, and he can't. England got control of it, and England got control of the United States. So he can be disposed like all the rest of them. So he can't come in. He can talk a lot of shit amongst his people, but he ain't going so far. That's why you don't pay a lot of stuff no mind. He just whine and cry, baby. Then born with a silver spoon in his damn mouth. You don't even want to hear nothing coming out of his mouth. Everything coming out of his mouth is a damn lie. So I can't hear nothing he's saying because everything's 4 ton to me. And he's nowhere existed in my records. I'm just being real. So whatever's happening now, it has to go through the cycle, whatever's going through. But he's only written in their records based on the president, how they keep records. But all that stuff we wiped out of existence as the years go by, because like the Pope said, you ain't had no sitting president since Abraham Lincoln. Okay, so you see him now with all them posters going around DC. You got him on one side. Who you got on the other side? Lincoln. But he's trying to go back and activate that status. He don't have the authority to do it. So they've been reading your books. They've read the Declaration. He ain't going by what happened to George Washington, remember? He was always about George, right? George, all of a sudden Lincoln showed up, right? Interesting, right?
How about it?
Got to pay attention now.
Now
You got Lincoln all over DC right now, coincided with his Earth Day. What happened to George Washington? Remember, he prided himself behind Washington. Remember, he said Sylvester Stallone them came out. He's the new George Washington. You feel me? Well, all of a sudden, since you see me send certain paperwork out, Lincoln pops up on the scene all of a sudden again, right? Because of what? Inside that paperwork it says what? The last recognized Republican president was Abraham Lincoln. So he's trying to compare himself to Abraham Lincoln like he's going to be the next great president. Nah, you ain't got the status Abraham Lincoln had. And after Abraham Lincoln, they changed they did a reconstruction, which created another citizen with that what? That C, remember? Capital C now, right?
That's right.
And he got the same contract everybody else got because he's an elected official. He's not a sovereign. He got the same birth certificate everybody else got. So that shows he's within that system. I'm outside the system. So that's why you can't. That's why you say Obama say what? I mean, say Biden say what? Yeah, we know about the emperor. We can't touch him after his government, and we thank the Lord he don't mess with us. You feel me? Because they already understand. They done did all the secret behind the system, studying on who you are. They just don't know how you coming, but they know you coming. So they block everywhere you come, and they say the only way you can come, like we're doing right now, you had to pierce, because they done blocked everything. Because you all over the UN Security Council, everybody know you as His Majesty or His Imperial Majesty. You feel me? But so every time you go somewhere, Albania, all that what comes to the United States trying to block you. You know what I'm saying? Now you got Brits you can play with. You feel me? Because everybody getting away from that dominant trying to hold this man back. He got his own damn state, create his own damn money. He already did that with this document. You'll see in a minute. But that's your sovereigns. You feel me? You got the right to do whatever you want. Now you exercising them rights. You got everybody on P's and Q's, right?
Tiptoes.
You know what I'm saying? What are you gonna do next? You feel me? They worried about that guy in DC. You need to be worried about the emperor. Shit.
That.
That help that question
Yes, Emperor. Yes.
Emperor, you've got another question from Rawa Ray. She asks, what does USPS and all other foreign postal service offices operating under, if not the Treaty of Berne?
That's it. They all operate in Treaty of Berne. They all signed on to the Treaty of Berne. That's why they got postal zones. Y'all call them zip codes. And they came and did all the postal zones so you haul mail. The mail can be interrupted because it's commerce. You can't stop commerce. So everything runs through the Treaty of Berne. So as we emerging, nobody would come and tell you that because they ain't got no state. So if you're a sovereign, well, you got to do what I just did. You got to be able to pierce that system because you're a sovereign. So you able to activate the Treaty of Berne. It's process right here on your paperwork, $10 stamp and all that. Thumbprint, because you got to be a sovereign. So these sovereign citizen niggas out here, they can't go out here and copy on that level because they ain't got no state. So that's why I let certain things out with designs that are already still on it because I don't never put my signature out. I don't never put nothing out. But at this level, I had to because you activated Treaty of Berne. And anybody out there at this level want to attach themselves to you on any level, whether it's the Constitution, nationality back in the past, whoever, they you know what they're doing in their britches right now because
Taking a chance.
everything they can't hide from you. Whatever they can't, no commerce can get around you because you created your own post. So so that's through that postal treaty. So but you're not under jurisdiction of their constitution. You create your own as you get down when we get down a little bit farther. And you're not under jurisdiction of USPS, who surrendered their jurisdiction over to the office of the president, right, Mr. John? So, so that's where the UPU is under jurisdiction of having the president of the United States over that whole administration. Now you come in, now the president of the United States got to go prove that he has sovereignty under that what? Treaty law. Because I just came in and activated treaty. So if he's the sovereign of the country of the United States that they claim to be, or a sovereign country as they claim to be, well, now they just got order, summons by the world and the land to prove they got sovereignty. And that's on the record right now as we speak. And they know the timeline that goes with it. You feel me? Because you just got called out. I've been saying it for years, but the United States already make them prove it. Make them prove we the world power, prove it. Now you come in and do what? You pierce. Only way you can pierce if you're a true sovereign. That makes sense to you. And there ain't nothing they can do, because once you pierce, you can't never go back. So there ain't no looking back now, right? That's why I say all hands on ship, time to move. Time to make,
All hands on deck. That's right.
I ain't really got no time for no newcomers on board right now. So as they sitting at that university, they can come in through there. They got special certain skills that they can use. Well, we bring them into NDs or NEDs so they can, train and start working for their own state. And then get the university straight, get our young ones trained, because they ain't got to never worry about looking for no job. They always gonna work for their own state. So whatever they want to train in the university, you're gonna have the professors to come in and teach whatever. I don't care what it is, engineer, vehicle, whatever. That's what y'all working on now. So and then when they graduate, what they doing? They ain't had to look for no work. They staying right here in the country. They already got a job, making 6 figures. You feel me? So you see it now.
Yes.
That makes sense to you. Now help me out. Y'all know I've been screaming
Very
noon visa. So All right, what you got? You got any more?
Questions in. Hold on a second.
Are we good? We caught up? Okay.
Yeah, we caught up
Then
now.
Wawa, did I answer that question? Did I help out? Or did that? You want me to go a
She
little
just
farther?
replied. She just replied yes.
I ain't know if that was enough for. I care a little farther. If you want, we can move forward.
Rawa just replied yes. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so John, you ready anymore?
I'm ready. Let's go.
I'm asking any more questions. All right, let's dance.
Imperial Royal Post Proclamation. ;_ Imperial Royal Post Proclamation issued, space, 13 May 2025, space line space, Imperial file number, space EFN IMYRS 05132025 ERPP 0001. By royal decree of his Imperial Majesty underscored, all caps H.E.M. Emperor, Sam Hu, Samson Ray / Sam Hu, a Ray, quote, Adeloyi, end quote, absolute royal sovereign emperor of the sovereign Imperial Royal Empire, in parentheses, SERE, Imperial Royal Office for his Imperial Majesty, in parentheses, IOHEM, all caps, Imperial CMYE-IRK Republic, for the country of United States States, small s, in parentheses, ECMYE-RKR, author, for the Imperial Constitution of the Continental Moorish Yamassee Empire, in parentheses, ICCMYE, and Imperial Constitution for the Imperial Royal Kingdom, in parentheses, ECIRK, hereby declared and entered into record for universal publication and enforcement this public proclamation. 1. Statement of Postal Sovereignty. Whereas the Imperial Royal Post, in parentheses ERP, is the sovereign postal and diplomatic authority of the Imperial CMYE-RK Republic, it operates under the authority of bullet. The Treaty of Berne, in parentheses 1874, Universal Postal Union, in parentheses UPU Constitution, bullet. Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, in parentheses 1961, bullet. Emperor's Directives 0001Z 2007, in parentheses 003Z 2009, in parentheses 0004Z / 0004Z small a, in parentheses 2013, and Imperial Moto Proprio of 18 March 2022. Bullet. U.S. State Department Apostille Certifications, space 040100010 and 040100010-1, effective 11 February 2004. Bullet. State of Georgia, USA, all caps apostille certification, space 5604B, effective 20 June 2003. Bullet. Imperial Constitution of the Continental Moorish Yamassee Empire, in parentheses ICCMYE, effective 3 April 2013. The ERP supersedes all foreign or corporate postal entities, including the USPS, on imperial and imperial lands, estates, and venues of jurisdiction. 2. Declaration of Embassy and Postal Operations. Let it be known to all nations and international institutions, bullet. Imperial Royal Post embassies, mailing issuing authorities, and consulates are hereby established globally within UPU aligned and diplomatically cooperative jurisdictions. Bullet. All Imperial Royal Post mail is protected under international treaty immunity. Bullet. ERP stamps, carriers, and consular posts are sovereign under imperial decree. All ERP pouches, communications, and dispatches are granted full diplomatic protection under Vienna Convention, Article 27, and UPU law. 3. Attachment of Imperial Royal Post Constitution. Let it be proclaimed that as of this Tuesday, 13th day of May, 2025, retroactive to 30 September 2003, the Imperial Royal Post Constitution, grounded in the Treaty of Bern, UPU Constitution, Vienna Conventions, and ICC-MYE EC-IRK law, is hereby attached hereto and enters into full force with full faith and sovereign gold credit, effective as the governing lawful and legal charter of the Imperial Royal Post, in parentheses ERP, in parentheses full stop.
All right, you got to get that all cap and dashes in there. All right, all right.
Say that one more again.
I tell you, like, sorry, dash goes. You left dash. And then it's all cap ECRK, all cap USPS.
I got you.
Because you give them lower, you give them something they ain't got.
Got
you. You feel me?
All right. This ERP Constitution, all caps Constitution, shall guide all ERP operations, embassies, consular pouches, issuance of ERP stamps, postal immunity, the appointment on nationalized courier officers, and ERP constitutional marshals for protection of mail. It is to be read in concert with all imperial and imperial royal decrees, including but not limited to: bullet, Emperor's Directive -0001Z, in parentheses 18 July 2007. Bullet, Emperor's Directive -0003Z, in parentheses 9 April 2009. Bullet, Emperor's Directive -0004Z /0004Z small a, in parentheses 4 April 2014 per 3 April 2013. Bullet, Imperial Moto Proprio, in parentheses 18 March 2022. Bullet, Notice of Appointment, in parentheses amendment, in parentheses 1st August, in parentheses 1st August 2023, in parentheses. Bullet, Notice of Accession, in parentheses 22nd January 2024. Bullet, Formal response and follow dash up for the notices of accession, in parentheses 30 July 2024, in parentheses full stop. Thus sealed, underscored, this ERP Constitution shall be recognized as inseparable from this Imperial Royal Post Proclamation, and is to be recorded, transmitted, and enforced throughout all territories of imperial, and diplomatic concern. 4. Recordation and public notice. This ERP proclamation shall be, bullet, filed with the IMYRS, Imperial and Imperial Royal Annals, and Royal Ecclesiastical Archives. Bullet, publicly noticed through the Imperial Royal Press via Imperial-Moto Proprio Protocol per live royal signature, raised royal seals, and publishing on the ECMYE-IRKR government website, also through the International Registry. Bullet, dispatched to all allied sovereign nations and UPU-cooperative entities. Let it be proclaimed that as of this Tuesday, 13th day of May 2025, retroactive to 30 September 2023, the Imperial Royal Post Great Seals Proclamation, the Imperial Royal Post Proclamation, and the Imperial Royal Post Constitution, grounded in the Treaty of Berne, UPU Constitution, Vienna Convention, and ICCMYE, all caps, spaceline space, ECIRK, all caps, law, is herewith underscored, ordained by, decree and declared, active and enforced underscored, and enters into full force with sovereign effect, droid, yeesh, exclamation point, 3 times, smiley face. So declared and affirmed by the absolute royal sovereign emperor, space, Samhu, Samson Ray, Samhu, Amini Ray, quote, Adelo Yi, aka 8th, Marquis de Masson Rouge, sovereign crown, all caps, prince, Kufu renewed, Zodok, Samson L, quote, thunder fire, King Louis, 20, end quote, each, exclamation point, 3 times. Enforced and given under the Imperial Great Seal, underscored, effective immediately upon recording with the IMYRS, ECMYE-RKR Royal Annuals, and recognized internationally via full faith and sovereign gold credit, droid, each, exclamation point, 3 times, smiley face. This is the royal law, decreed with full faith, credit, and territorial sovereignty, witnessed by the Master Fire Deity, the dwellers, and all celestial kin, underscore, full stop, smiley face. Imperial Royal Post Constitution, underscored, colon. Imperial Royal Post Constitution for the Imperial CMYE-IRK Republic, established, 13 May 2025, Imperial File Number, EFN IMYRS 05132025 ERPC 0001. Preamble. We, the Imperial CMYE-RK Republic, under the supreme authority of the absolute royal sovereign Emperor, all caps, H.E.M. Samhu, Samson, Ray, Samhu, Amini Ray, quote, Adelo Yi, end quote, aka 8th Marquis de Masson Rouge, sovereign, all cap, crown, prince, Kufu renewed Zadok, Samson L, quote, thunder fire, King Louis, 20, end quote, do hereby ordain and establish this Imperial Royal Post Constitution, in parentheses, ERPC, all caps, to function as a sovereign, treaty-bound, and internationally immune communication system. The Imperial Royal Post operates pursuant to the Treaty of Berne, in parentheses, 1874, the Constitution of the Universal Postal Union, in parentheses, 30 September 2003, the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, in parentheses, 1961, and under the supreme sovereign authority of the Imperial Constitution of the Continental Moorish Yamassee Empire, in parentheses, ICCMYE, all caps, do hereby proclaim the Imperial Royal Post Constitution as a sovereign and diplomatic institution of mail, commerce, and communication by, of, and for the Imperial Royal Crown. This Constitution affirms the diplomatic and sovereign nature of the Imperial Royal Post, ERP in parentheses, as a globally recognized mail authority empowered to operate independently of foreign postal agencies, including the corporate structure of the USPS, all caps. This Constitution also governs all postal, diplomatic, and consular functions of the Imperial Royal Post. Article 1 dash Sovereign Legal Authority and Treaty Power Foundation. 1. The ERP is established under international and imperial authority bound by bullet. The Treaty of Berne, in parentheses, UPU, all caps, 1874. The UPU, all cap Constitution, in parentheses, ratified 30 September 2003. Bullet. Vienna Convention, Article 27, in parentheses, diplomatic bag and postal immunity. Next bullet. Vienna Convention, Articles 3 and 40. Bullet. Emperor's Directive dash 0001Z, in parentheses, 18 July 2007. Bullet. Emperor's Directive dash 0003Z, in parentheses, 9 April 2009. Bullet. Emperor's Directive dash 0004Z, space line space 0004Z small a, in parentheses, 4 April 2014 dash per dash 3 April 2013. Bullet. Imperial dash motu proprio, in parentheses, 18 March 2022. Bullet. Notice of appointment, in parentheses, amendment, in parentheses, dash, in parentheses, effective 31 August 2023, in parentheses. Bullet. Notice of accession, in parentheses, 2022, 22 January 2024. Bullet. Formal response and follow dash up for the notices of accession, in parentheses, 30 July 2024, in parentheses, full stop. 2. Sovereign status is reaffirmed by claim dash of dash life, apostille certifications, in parentheses, 5604B dash GA and 040-10010, 040-10010-1 USA, all caps, and Imperial Delegation of Authority. 3. ERPs. Sovereign standing is reinforced by, all caps, H.E.M. dual seat status, spaceline space, postal governor level recognition within the United States Postal Governors Board as of 30 September 2003. Article 2 postal immunity and diplomatic function. 1. All ERP mail, couriers, and diplomatic pouches are invaluable. 2. ERP dispatches shall not be opened, seized, delayed, or surveilled by any foreign power. Bullet. ERP officers and couriers are granted diplomatic immunity during postal missions under Vienna Convention, Article 27. 3. All ERP couriers, envoys, and emissaries shall be granted diplomatic immunity as per space bullet Vienna Convention Articles 3, 27, 40. Bullet UPU, all caps, protective clauses. Bullet UPU, all caps, protective clauses. Bullet Imperial motu proprio, in parentheses, March 2022. 4. Imperial mail shall be immune from, bullet. Custom seizure, bullet. Surveillance, bullet. Tampering or unauthorized inspection. Article 3, jurisdictional authority. 1. The ERP is the sole sovereign communications entity recognized within the Imperial CMYE-IRK Republic. 2. It supersedes USPS, all caps, and all foreign corporate entities within Imperial venues. 3. All ERP operations are governed exclusively by ICC-MYE, spaceline space, EC-IRK, all caps, and Imperial law. Article 4. Embassies, consulates, and mail authorities. 1. ERP shall establish imperial post embassies and consulates worldwide. 2. ERP offices, embassies, and mail-issuing authorities shall be established in bullet UPU, all caps, compliant states. Bullet. Member states of the AU, ASEAN, Baltic states, Balkan states, Baltic states, BRICS Plus, CARICOM, all caps, EU, all caps, League of Arab States, and APEC, all caps. 3. Each office shall operate as a sovereign enclave under imperial jurisdiction. 4. ERP shall maintain bilateral or multilateral relations through consular treaties, MOUs, and registration with host states. 5. Mail-issuing authorities shall also operate under bilateral or multilateral postal immunity agreements. Bullet. All ERP offices are to be recognized as sovereign zones of imperial jurisdiction. Article 5. Postal operations and stamp issuance. 1. ERP is authorized to issue, bullet, imperial gold-seal stamps and imperial silver-seal stamps. Bullet. Sovereign stamps bearing series 1 through 888, in parentheses, 1 through 6 comprised, in parentheses, diamond. The 1 sovereign stamp, imperial and imperial royal crown, diamond. The 5 sovereign stamp, imperial and imperial royal crown, diamond. The 10 sovereign stamp, imperial and imperial royal crown. And here you can see the series. The 1 sovereign stamp, 5 sovereign stamp, 10 sovereign stamp, 20 sovereign stamp, 58 sovereign stamp, and 135 sovereigns stamp, diamond. The 20 sovereigns stamp, imperial and imperial royal crown, diamond. The 58 sovereigns stamp, imperial and imperial royal crown, diamond. The 135 sovereigns stamp, imperial and imperial royal crown, diamond. Bullet. Bullet. Diplomatic courier pouches and registered mail. Bullet. Consular certificates of dispatch and immunity. 2. Operations and services include, bullet, diplomatic mail services, in parentheses, DMS, all caps. Bullet, Inter-Continental Imperial Express, in parentheses, ICIE, all caps. And then bullet, National E&I Couriers, in parentheses, NEIC, all caps. 3. Imperial and Imperial Treasury bound communications and banking notice dispatches. Article 6 postal citizenship and nationalization. 1. ERP recognizes foreign nationals nominationals, in parentheses, American state citizens operating under ICC-MYE, spaceline space, ECRRK, all caps, nationality protocols. 2. All ERP personnel must be bullet, certified under ICC-MYE, space line space, EC-IRK, all caps, nationality, protocols. Bullet, sworn by imperial oath to the royal houses. Bullet, issued IMYRS diplomatic courier, ID, and treaty immunity credentials. Bullet, ERP personnel or not, U.S. All caps, 14th Amendment citizens, forward citizens but foreign nationals dash nominationals, in parentheses, American state citizens under imperial status.
Hold on, right. 14th Amendment, capital C citizens slash small c citizens, because we had to cover both ends. So you got that kind of slow, you kind of got you right there. So I'm gonna help you out there, all right?
Appreciate it. All right, and I'll repeat it. ERP personnel or not, U.S. all caps, 14th Amendment, capital C citizens, / small c citizens, but foreign nationals dash nominationals, in parentheses, American state citizens under imperial status. Thank you, Protector. 3. All couriers must be, bullet, certified by imperial royal decree. Bullet, oath dash bound to the royal houses of Tunica dash Thunderfire or Samson L dash Sam Hooray. Article 7 dash financial and commercial functions. 1. ERP may collect duties, tariffs, and postage under the Imperial CMYE Treasury, space line space, Imperial Treasury Authority. 2. All ERP revenue streams are tax dash immune under international law. Article 8 dash ERP Governing Council. 1. The ERP shall be governed by the Imperial Postal Council, in parentheses EPC, all caps, and parentheses : bullet, His dash Imperial dash Majesty as Sovereign Postmaster, space line space, Supreme Postal Governor. Bullet, the EPC, all caps, shall oversee all ERP operations. 2. The EPC shall include : bullet, Imperial Chancellor of Communications as administer. Bullet, regional postmasters, general and international emissaries. Article 9 dash ratification, recordation, amendment, and public notice. 1. This ERP constitution is recorded with : bullet, Imperial Muorish Yamassee Recording Service, in parentheses IMYRS, all caps, bullet, host nations diplomatic registries, bullet, Imperial Royal Archives. 2. It shall be publicly issued through the Imperial Royal Press and Global Registry. 3. No section shall be amended except by decree of His dash Imperial and Imperial dash Majesty. Excuse me. So declared and affirmed this 13th day of May 2025, retroactive to 30 September 2003, by the absolute royal sovereign dash emperor, space Sam Hu, Samson dash Ray, / Sam Hu, Amini dash Ray, quote, Adeloyi, end quote, aka 8th Marquis de Masson Rouge, sovereign, all cap crown prince, space : Khufu dash renewed dash Zaduk, space : Samson dash L, quote, thunder dash fire, / King dash Louis, space : 20th, end quote, each, exclamation point 3 times. Enforced and given under the Imperial Great Seal, _ : effective immediately upon recording with the IMYRS, CMYE-IRK Royal Annals, and recognized internationally via full faith and sovereign gold dash credit. Droid each, exclamation point 3 times, smiley face. Imperial Royal Office.
Right there.
Okay.
You gotta give yourself a break. It's like give yourself a breather.
Appreciate
You say crown all cap, you missed that. So I said, oh, he need a breather. Uh, any questions on the Constitution that's written and the proclamation and the Great Seal Proclamation? You understand what a proclamation is, right? Now you got a Constitution. It's already signed in, you see? So you got all the systematized everything, you know, to run your what? ERP. So you got anything on that? You got any questions? You need to get them in now, 'cause by the time you finish, we're gonna close this call out. It's 8:39 now, so we've been on here about what, 3 hours. So we don't have time to answer a lot of questions. Say that again.
Princess,
We're
You
heading
gotta
around.
speak up.
We're heading around to 5, Emperor.
Oh, we hanging around 5 hours?
Yeah, we started
Oh,
at 5.
time fly, right?
I was about to step up, and it wasn't my place to ask Shajar if he wanted to take a break. I could. That's a long
there's only
read.
two left.
Yeah.
The question is,
You got about what? What you got about 2 pages left?
Yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah. You got it. I want to ask this question in here. Since you want to ask something, the Kessler. All right, Barker, you got a question from Princess Nefertiti. Okay. I don't know. So, pronounce her name? Appellation? I know.
Nefertiti, Iona.
Okay.
Iona.
Iona. That sound like that? Iona. 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 You're right. Sound right in front of me, right? All right, come on. What she got here? Since you want to ask, you should know something about the Anunnaki, right?
Oh, I
Some
wasn't.
say they are men, others say they are God. What you know about the Anunnaki? If you want to
Anunnaki.
answer, come on.
I
Huh?
was. I wasn't stepping up to answer, Emperor. I would never
There you
expect
go.
it.
There you go. Another excuse, y'all. Y'all know I'm taking excuses.
But
Come on, help
I'll
me out, Buck. I ain't ready.
go for it. Go ahead.
Help me out, Buck.
They are the deities, are the beings responsible for our so-called our creation. And
Ain't no so-called. You
Right.
got to take so-called after that. That's a fact
yeah,
now. On this level, on this
that's a
realm. You
fact.
feel me?
It will be known as your so-called, well, they will be known as the gods that they, where you get that name from, guard, as the protectors. They were the protectors of us. They're the one who came into this system, and from this system, they were seeking for the gold to take back to their system. So if you know about the planet Nibiru, that's what they're talking about. Those beings of the ancient planet Nibiru. Now you.
But Anunnaki come from that coming here. That's why the definition is those who came from Nibiru was the Anunnaki. On this ship, they something else. But Enki,
Yeah, ship.
some call him the devil in the Christian format. And they call his brother Michael, Michael. Okay, they talking about in Leo, Crown Prince. Enki was the Crown Prince, but through the line of through the rule of Ansha and Kisha, they changed the royal order to where now it had to be bloodline, like concubine. You know what I'm saying? Or if the concubine and the half sister's seed overtakes the concubine. So that's how Enlil got the crown prince seat. So he's who you call Yahweh or Yah, Y-E-W-H on this level. Okay? When you hear all them names, they talking about Enlil, different attributes. And then you got Enki, who him and Ninhasat, their concubine, through Anu, one of his concubines. That was their sister, Ninhasat. That's where the sisters got their blood. That was her thing, Ninhasat. Okay? Some call her Ninti, all the way down. You feel me? But it goes back to her blood. And she was the mad scientist. I ain't gonna say mad, but you cutting up, but she was the one who put you together. Enki put you together through his genealogy But you remember, Inky has so many, what is it, M's. So that was like your bloodline DNA RNA is like an M to him. That's how smart this cat is. He's smart as his own daddy. Smart as everybody. So, but they get the stories, they write the stories here, there, this and that, all that. They had to write themselves into your story. They didn't have no story. They didn't have no existence. So the Caucasian man had to rewrite the story to put him in your story and then train you to make it look like he's over you all the time. And that's all bullshit. And that goes back to that bloodline, royal bloodline. That's why you see the shield up there, because I represent that royal bloodline. So you talking about Anunnaki. And so on certain terms, they call them Elohim. On where you people out there saying El on the back of that name, it goes back to Elohim, El. See? When you say you're El, all that behind the name. Bey, all that, that's going back to the Muur or the Ottoman Empire, the Moors. You got Ali, Day, them all noble titles. You feel me? But El takes you back to the Elohim. So that's why you say a lot of Moors got that L on the back of their name, but they ain't got no venue to operate because the Elohim and the Adonai got their own venue, and they go where they want to go. Here, you can't say you that, and you ain't got no venue. You front yourself. All right, so let's get that out of the way. That's good for now? Okay, cool. I'm going to answer for you. So, then she so then she says about the indigenous Indian. Says, so are you saying that even, yeah, that's what that ain't no saying, that's a fact. You can't get outside the jurisdiction of the Queen or the United States jurisdiction. How you gonna do it? You gotta be a foreign national country. Call you claim indigenous, that don't mean nothing. And you definitely don't mean nothing. Because that's all written up by the United States. That's all copyright written material. That's why we say we're American natives. We ain't no Native American. We're American natives because they copyrighted all that. You feel me? So you saying you're indigenous Indian, well, they already got you labeled under BIA, which don't put you outside of the jurisdiction of the United States. If you claim some organization now, even the clan down in Georgia with the Mount Africa Embassy clan, you claiming even part of that crap. You still ain't outside the IRS. That make you ain't outside the United States jurisdiction. If you claiming some of these cats out here that ran up to the UN and got, let's say, the United States, and they got a apostille like we did, but they got number 2 because they couldn't get number 1 because there was only one state left, and I got that, so they get a number 2. And they able to issue some ID like college campuses do. Well, you able to move around the United States, certain, you move around the United States at a certain level, but you can't go outside the United States. You can go outside. I'm gonna say you can't, but you can't get back in. So you got to ask that question about that. Okay. So no, you can't. Yeah, that's a fact. It ain't something I'm saying. That's a fact, and I done proved it over the last 22 years. They've been saying that same stuff you saying for years, but you still on that system. Social Security card, birth certificate, credit card with the bank, whatever is what under their jurisdiction. You got to completely be outside of just what foreign national own country mean. You're a foreign national own country. I mean, you got to get outside their venue. They already gave you all the authority you need to run your own bank, your court, everything. They say it's fine, right in our state, Georgia, everywhere. But you got to train your national up to be able to do their job because they so programmed out there on the market with that he say dealing with indigenous and all that stuff that's been circulating for so long. And you see how damage it. You see how knowledge can damage a whole nation. You feel me? So so that answer that question, all right?
Yeah,
All right.
she
So
said
John
thank
said
you.
what makes say what? Say it again.
She said yes. She said thank you for clearing it up.
Okay, cool. All right. So John said what makes the Imperial Royal Post so powerful? Because you pierce them because you remember back in you were reading when you said I had 2 postal seats at the Board of Governors.
Right.
I just let that whole card out. I've been holding that for 22 years. Y'all ain't hear me there. Y'all supposed to be laughing.
Copy that.
Yeah,
I gotta get a recorder and say hit the
absolutely
laugh
got
button.
it.
Everybody. See, y'all making brothers smoke weed. Come on. So, like why they ain't smoking weed, you know. I had some brothers tell me the other day, they walk about 4 miles and they never smoke no weed. And I said, I just don't understand how you can do that. It's just impossible. I just couldn't see me ever doing that.
You see, you tried, right?
just,
You tried,
just,
right?
you know,
4
just,
miles.
I mean,
Keep you present, right?
that's why Nin Hasak brought it back to earth. Remember
Right.
that we came from Nibiru.
That's right.
That came from heaven, Nick. You got your arch enemy down here tell you they ain't no good for you because they know what to do to your melanin skin. Well, she brought that plant from Nibiru and told the Anunnaki they were working in the mines that would ease their what? Their pain and their stress and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now what they doing? They found out it cures this, it's cured that, cure this. But they know THC is good for melanin people. So they tell you they're gonna test you in drug tests for melanin, but then they get the CBC or the other part of the plant, and now that cures all this stuff, and it's okay for them to do that. But see how that discrimination go again, you see?
Separation.
See, you see how they constantly doing that discrimination?
Mm-hmm.
See? So they take THC, they activate you, activate them. But they test you for it so you can't get a job, you got it in there activate. They don't need no activated African American to work for them because they ain't gonna see them as their boss or their God, you feel me? That's why you see the workforce now changing. Why? Because they want niggas in there that can look at them as if they some sovereign or some God-like character because they got Jesus or whoever that guy is they portraying to be up there on that picture. They got that nigga sitting up there looking like them and, no color. Don't make sense to me if you're a son of God. How you a son of God, you ain't got no fucking color. Feel me? So that shit, then you got people believe that crap. So you're like, that's a problem. That's gonna be a major problem right there. You feel me? Because you got people that are dying right now fighting and playing these games in war, and they say they want to be American or all that stuff going on, and then they dying on a flag. Okay, so what Jesus got to do with any of this stuff then, right?
Right.
So why they keep playing on Jesus then? Leave that nigga alone. He don't exist no damn way. Why they keep playing on it? Nigga don't exist no way. You make me in damn cause you made that nigga strawberry. Still ain't gonna make that nigga exist.
Hey, leave my strawberries alone, man. Don't poison my strawberries.
He would have come out in the moon.
Shit.
He would have come in the moon. At least the moon came.
Oh, that's funny.
It's amazing how you can look at the White House up there. You see all these people under his administration claiming to be Christians, and they worship him. So it's like they wear the big crosses on their neck and interview. Like that don't even make sense. That don't look proper because you worship him. You loyalty to him. You doing all the evil for him. You breaking your own constitution on behalf of him. You feel me? You creating all this animosity on behalf of him. You getting rid of you trying to say you get rid of black history that you can't because of him, because he's a racist. You can smile all you want. You can see what he's doing. Even the fires that he made on certain people, he don't even want you at his table. But yeah, he get out there in front. We've been talking for a long time. They talk like Fort Turner. So he come at the table and got a couple of them house niggas over there. Like that boy in South Carolina and all them. They all house. They worship him. They think he God. Oh, because he look like that boy they got hanging on the cross in everybody's church. And that boy don't even exist. Gold hair, blue eye. Come on, man. That can tell you how many lines, how many pigmentation down the line they had that they is to get away from melanin. You got the original 9 ether. They 6 ether. But you see how the world catered to that? You gotta have long hair, you gotta have long braids, you gotta have it. Nigga, you born with a wool. Get used to your crown. You don't need to hang. See?
Right.
Now you want to smell like him. Don't eat like him. Tell you everything he's done, though. He came and took everything. How can someone don't exist because you paint him on a picture and put him in a book and put holy on that motherfucker and you claim that nigga is real and you believe that shit? No proof. You done seen your granddaddy die, your great-great-granddaddy die. You done seen all these niggas die and that nigga ain't showed up yet. So you feel like you so special He gonna show up for you, right? All right. I got a fire. They gonna show your ass something more. You feel me? But you chose death. We chose life. So you're gonna see death because that's what you want. You say you gotta die, go to heaven so you can see. So I'm gonna fulfill your promise. Might take me a couple years, but you're gonna get your promise. Ain't gonna deny death his job, right?
Right.
He called for it, he come his rightful time, don't he?
Yeah.
Right time.
Did Jesus show up at that time? You can't hear Jesus coming out of them now. You hear it coming out of the preacher mouth show up. But that nigga that died ain't said Jesus, ain't said God, ain't nobody. They scared it. Yeah. So I told him I'm playing games all the damn life. I believe in Jesus. I believe in God. What would Jesus do? And they don't know what nigga do. He always said. Whatever he do, their word for him. That's why I say he come around, kick him in the nut. Fuck you, man, nigga. That done wiped out a whole generation. You say he showed up. Man, y'all crazy. Y'all think I'm crazy.
20 minutes G.
Huh? I'm not trying to ask my boy. I said, what about your precious Jesus? You know? He said, what about him? Ain't nobody seen him. Vacated. Well, who is this guy? The master. He said the baddest to the baddest of the baddest, baddest of the baddest, baddest. That made God vacant, Allah vacant, Jehovah vacant, Jesus vacant. So there ain't nobody left. He says, what you say? Y'all see what I'm saying is coming out. You start to see it, right?
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
This is an official royal document that's in effect as we speak. There ain't nobody out there walking around no stuff like that. There ain't nobody out here to walk out no authority to write how I write and what I and sign in. Where? Show me. They out there talking that game on Facebook, claiming they got government, claiming they got constitution, claiming they got all that. Where the orders at? Where the authority at? Ain't nobody. They having all these meetings every day, every week, like they gonna do something. Who are they? Ain't got no authority to do nothing. They can't even get outside their state. They got all these NGOs out of the UN that's been the boys running back and forth with them. And now they done shut it down since 19, what's that, 16 or 17? And so they still got all them connections. So they still throwing these Moors games like they gonna have some country or whatever. They ain't got no being to do nothing. And that's that on our territory, they got to come through. They on our territory. As we get this court, they got to come prove that they got some resistance. So they can't prove they are a United States citizen, or they can't prove that they're a state citizen because they done repatriated or repatriate, what they call that crap, whatever. And they claim they got jurisdiction over some organization that's still on the IRS. Okay, you start to get it, right? So when they come over here and we bring them to our court to prove that they this Bay or this Ali or this L or whoever they claim they be, and they come over here and they can't prove it, where they going? They can't go back to the United States. They can't come over here, so where they going? So once they put that in effect, you'll see a whole lot of them so-called tough guys, all them tough sisters out there. You'll see them running back over there and get on that Social Security system. Why? Because they ain't got no visa, go nowhere else. So they become stateless then, right?
Yes.
You see where it's headed at, right? Right around the corner.
Right. Right.
It's already here, right? They just don't see it. You got so much distraction going on. Y'all think LA and all that crap. You feel me? Ain't got nothing to do with us. They better leave our property loans out there. I know that.
Nope.
But in that, you know, so we asked all the questions. So you saying about post because my 2 seats. A lot of people didn't know. A lot of y'all didn't know. Y'all, I pulled it out until they got dropped into the document. We've been having 2 seats since I won the case. The people that's in the post office now, they don't know nothing about all that stuff. It's been hidden so long. So when you send this out to them now, it's like waking up these people at the post office, at board of governors and new postmaster general, acting postmaster general came over FedEx. They got up there now. They ain't never heard of stuff like this. So that's why you give them 30 days, 45 days, because they got to really sit back and digest all of this. And they ain't got no say-so in it. It's already done. So it was something done 22 years ago that they agreed to, and now it come home to fruition because that bill, I ain't even seen the bill yet. Y'all know the bill is up, what, 28 billion now from 203 when they violated my sovereignty. That's about what, 28 billion now. That I ain't even sent them that yet. This just you moving before you get to that level because you got to be able to, dock it where you got to go. But they know they got a true bill against them. So when you show them you already got 2 seats on the board of governors based on their fraud of the contract, but people don't fully understand that contract. I about 203 that between me and the post office. So so they hear that stuff, and hopefully you hear it, so they ain't gotta bring it out. So all the new cats, they studying this like left hand. This their homework for the next 30 days because they gotta know because you able to create your own constitution. You able to create a constitution hand in hand with the UPU Constitution that's outside the jurisdiction of the USPS and outside the jurisdiction of the USA and outside jurisdiction of the whole Security Council of the UN. You outside all that jurisdiction, they under you with this document. That's how much authority come into your sovereignty. So they ain't gonna sit right with a lot of folk. But they got Advils out there, they're gonna be all right. They got Tylenol.
Got jokes.
They gonna be all right. But you got to keep moving your state because they waiting on you. You got to move your state. So with this, they know you coming within the next 60 days. They don't know it, but they know the time limit on this since 13th day of May. They don't know. They got to answer or go in and stop them. You feel me? And then your sovereignty, you ain't going to their court to retrieve itself. What you do? You turn that default into what? Credit on your side. You start to get it right. So that's how much authority you got. So that help you out, Job, with that question you got up there?
Indeed, thank you.
Be good now?
Be straight.
So where we at?
Imperial Royal Official Decree.
All right, that's the last part of it?
Yep. Ready?
All right, let's dance.
Dance. Imperial Royal Official Decree / Imperial Decree Number, ID, hold on, put my glasses back on. IDN-IMRS /EROD -05132.025-0001. Imperial Royal Official Decree _ from the Imperial Royal Office for His Imperial Majesty by authority of the Imperial Royal House of Tunica Thunderfire and the Imperial Royal House of Samson Sam Hooray. The decree title _ quote, Decree of Unified Sovereignty and assertion of Imperial Dominion west of the demarcation line (1713) for the Imperial CMYE-IRK Republic (ECMYE-IRKR, all caps), and the Imperial Royal Office for His Imperial Majesty (IROHEM, all caps, end quote. Whereas, be it known to all nations, governments, and peoples of the earth, under the sovereign authority of the Imperial and Imperial Royal Crown, all caps, nunc pro tunc, from the moment of creation, the Imperial CMYE-IRK Republic for the country of United States (States) is affirmed as the supreme continuing government _ of the Autochthon Moorish Yamassee Muur, Washistaw, Mers the Damaunia, and the indigenous peoples of ancient Amexem (ancient Americas), end parentheses, stop. His Imperial Majesty, Sam Hu, Samson Ray, Emperor Monarch INRI, Khufu Renewed Zodak, Samson L, quote, Thunder Fire, / King-Louis, space colon, 20th, end quote, 8th Marquis de Nassau rules, does invoke and decree the sovereign unification of colon space. Bullet. The Anunnaki royal bloodline, cosmic rulers and divine dwellers. Bullet. The Desmaison rules, hereditary claim, west of the 1713 demarcation line. Bullet. The Washistaw Washistaw Yamassee Muur sovereign authority, rooted in Autochthon origins. And the appellation of his Imperial Majesty, space Samhu, Samson Ray Samhu, a mini Ray, quote, Adeloyi, end quote. The ECMYE-RKR, through this Imperial Royal official decree, declares its absolute and eternal sovereignty. Let it be known to all nations, governments, and people that the Imperial Royal Kingdom exercises full and unchallenged control over its territories, nominationals, and resources. By divine right, birthright, and historic mandate, affirmed through the ICMYE-ICIRK, or caps of 4 April 2014, per 3 April 2013, and the Imperial Policy Declaration to the World, in parentheses, 22 April 2025, in parentheses, the Imperial Royal Kingdom stands independent from all foreign jurisdiction. The Imperial Royal Kingdom asserts its independence from any foreign authority in alignment with the principles of Westphalian sovereignty.
All right, so what's Westphalian sovereignty? I done woke y'all up now. Oh, here them. You done got wide open. Yep, I done dropped me some mineral water and I'm back at it. What's Westphalian sovereignty? Small ass. Chat, live, don't make no difference. So y'all like what y'all got to understand it so far? So I think what we're gonna have to do here, John, when you say like mandate attach, affirm through the ICMYE all cap attach ECMYE all cap, you feel me? On 4 April 214, per 3 April 213. You know what I'm saying? You see, then you got and the Imperial Policy Declaration of the World. Parentheses 22 2025 attach. You feel me? Because it attaches, make sure it's linked. It ain't space. You feel me?
Right.
It's attached to everything you're saying. So as we train it behind the scene, you know, that'll come more up. Okay. So Westphalian sovereignty, also known as what? State sovereignty, is a core principle of international law that asserts each nation state has exclusive authority over its territory and domestic affairs, free from external interference, period. This principle, largely established after the Peace of Westphalian in 1648, forms the foundation of the modern international system of sovereign states. All right, so they give you more understanding on that. When you see that, principles in line with the principle of Westphalian sovereignty, they help y'all out. All right.
Oh yeah, very good reminder. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Gratitude.
All right, go. We got Nate. 13. Let's go to 13 now. Friday the 13th, y'all. 13th June 2003. 13 June 2025. 22 years, y'all. And I did it, right? And you should have seen the way I sealed it. You know, behind the scene, I'll let y'all know. We sealed it, didn't we, Cam? The day is actually
Yes, we did.
Yeah, the day is actually the 20. Which when it all started, Yamassee Muur. So it ended the day. Well, yeah, it ended, but this is the end of the 22nd year. And you done accomplished everything you done said since then in 22 years. And now you sealed it. Now you stepping in a new. You see what's out here on the market right now. You feel me?
Right.
So that's then you're on 13 page now. So you had to remind yourself of that, right? All right, come on, let's get it out of here.
All right. It is hereby decreed, colon space, 1, that the Imperial Royal House of Tunica Thunderfire and the Imperial Royal House of Samson Sam Hooray, pursuant to underscore the Imperial Constitution for the Imperial Royal Kingdom, in parentheses ECRK, all caps, and the Imperial Constitution of the Continental Moorish Yamassee Empire, in parentheses ICC MYE, all caps, filed 3 April 2013, and being world recognized on 4 April 2014, herewith declare, ordain, and affirm the active and enforce underscore de jure dash authority of the ECMYE dash IRKR and de jure dash authority of the IROHEM, all caps.
All right, hold right there. I told you you got to clarify that. So you got active and quote in for and active and in quote force. D capital D uppercase lowercase D jure capital uppercase lowercase dash authority of the ECMYE-IRK all cap and de jure all lowercase totally different venues dash authority of the IOHM all cap. And you also, when I was explaining a while ago about the Constitution, about the bomb and all that, that's why you see it on the paper. You see 3 April 213, then I see 4 April 2 updated because 4 April certain documents way back and they had 3 on them. But you grew and you can't count that day. You got to count the next day. And so that was the 3 that were your days. So you said world recognized. So that's what happened. So that's why you see it on our paperwork. 3 April 213 or 4 April 214 per 3 April. That's what they're talking about. So that explained that whole situation with the Constitution and how long it had to sit, or anybody's Constitution for that matter, that it had to sit to be recognized. Just because you write a Constitution don't mean you got the authority of the Constitution to move. You got to give it time to sit and marinate and to get recognized, give some kind of equity. A Constitution without an equity ain't no damn Constitution. That's why you got a corruption going on in America, because the Constitution ain't got no equity. If the Constitution ain't equity, you won't have no 36 trillion in debt. That makes sense to you now, right?
Right. So you can write
Huh? That help you out?
Right. You can write off the equity of the Constitution.
Right,
Right.
on everything. That's why you got you over here. You got free health, everything. Why? It's part of your life. It's just your substance that you got to live that's already guaranteed to your equity. You got 21 zeros. They at 36 trillion. You can write that debt off with a stroke of a pen. But they did you wrong for all them years by keeping you so behind the scene. You don't let them suffer. You feel me?
Right.
Them dig their own self out of damn debt. You feel me? With their securities and their control mechanism. You feel me?
Right.
You didn't need us then. That's why you need us now, folks, right?
Right.
So y'all be dealing with that ambassadors anyway. So we'll shake a leg here and there, but we got our own securities, right? Come on. So we good? That help you out?
That's good.
All right, come on.
2, that the ECMYE-RKR, all caps, the IROHEM, all caps, and the Imperial Royal Crown, all caps, continue to stand as autonomous sovereign powers and perpetual dominion over all territory jurisdictions originally known as Yamassee, including but not limited to the North, South, East, and West Americas and adjacent territories and islands.
They
3,
call it, they talking about Turtle Island and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? That's all that. That's all them islands, feel me?
right.
If they claim they got it out there on the market with their paperwork, they got to come prove for us now, right?
Right.
Because you got guys up there in the Nape in Philadelphia, Delaware, coming Nape Indians, and the guy there in Canada, Columbia, Turtle Island, all that stuff. Okay, that's fine. That's, like I said, a lot of slang and paperwork, right?
Right.
But if you're gonna say you got to claim on our territory, you got to come prove for our court. You ain't got to come prove for their court that you out there bragging and they can't say nothing to you. They can't say nothing because they don't own the land either.
Right.
Parents on your land too, just like you is. You feel me?
Right.
Makes sense to you now, right?
Right.
All right, come on.
3. That this Imperial Royal Official Decree is issued with full faith and credit under international law, supported by the Treaty of Berne, the Constitution of the Universal Postal Union, in parentheses 1874, Imperial sovereignty via Spanish land grants, in parentheses 1762, 1763, 1795, Treaties of Utrecht, in parentheses 1713. Also, in harmony with, underscore, the Marrakesh Treaty of Peace and Friendship with the Empire of Morocco, in parentheses 1786, and Treaty Small T of September 16, 1836, effective 28 January 1837. 4. That all prior imperial and imperial decrees, imperial and imperial royal decrees, / royal orders, notice of accession, imperial and imperial dash, executive mission, and imperial missions filed and recorded with the IMYRS, all caps, are re-affirmed herein underscored, including but not limited to IMYRS file numbers, :space, N OARAD /2024 000000001 NOA VCLT /
You gotta say all cap.
all caps, my bad. All caps / 2024 0000002.
That's 8 zeros too, man. Come on. Yeah, 8 zeros on all of them. 0 0 0 0. I'm gonna go sleep. I'm like, you gotta keep rapping. Come
NOA
on.
CRTAP, all caps / 2024 803. NOAC, all caps / 2024 804. And then FR FU NOAS, all caps / 2024 801. And ERN / IMYRS 2024 808 / ENI EM, effective 30 July 2024.
And that's imperial and imperial. That's executive mission. That's online, right?
Right.
Cool.
5. That the unified emblem seal shall serve as the only sovereign emblem for the Imperial Royal Post, validated by the gold signature of, all caps H.E.M. binding all within the ECMYE-IRK, all caps, and all foreign entities engaging with the Imperial and Imperial Royal Crown, all caps, Crown. 6. That the Imperial sovereign rights and Imperial sovereign lands west of the 1713 demarcation line, including North America, Caribbean, Central, and South America, falls under Imperial and Imperial jurisdiction, governed by, :space, bullet, Imperial land rights, sovereignty, and inalienable birthrights, bullet, Imperial land treaties, in parentheses 1713, 1762, 1763, 1786 Al-Marat, 1795, in parentheses, bullet, royal bloodline succession via claim of life / 4 March 2004. 7. That all sovereign entities, both terrestrial and celestial, shall recognize the plenipotentiary authority of, all caps H.E.M. ipso jure, Jew in eius gladi, Jew in eius hereditatis, Jew in eius imperi, Jew in eius majestatis, and in solo proprio. 8. That the 4, in parentheses, 4 unified seals, S seals, in parentheses, shall henceforth be inscribed in all imperial and imperial edicts, diplomatic notes, and sovereign acts and recorded into the Royal Ecclesiastical Archives and ECMYE-RKR, all caps, Royal Annals, Droit-Droit. Territorial affirmation, _:space. The IROHEM, all caps, and Imperial CMYE-RK Republic reaffirms exclusive territorial sovereignty over all ancestral lands known as, :space. Bullet, Amaru, Washistaw, Washistaw, Muur, and Yamassee /Yamassee territories. Bullet, Muorish / Moorish, Al-Moroccan territories. Bullet, the ancient lands recorded under the Great Seal of the Empire of Morocco / Al-Maroc, and through the legacy of the Treaty of Berne, in parentheses, 1874, and in parentheses, full stop. This Imperial Royal Official Decree is issued under the protection of international law, including the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and other relevant global treaties, which affirm the Imperial Royal Kingdom's right as a sovereign country, attached, sovereign state. The Imperial Royal Kingdom, under the supreme, leadership of H.E.M. all cap, affirms its commitment to the peaceful and equitable conduct of international relations. The Royal Kingdom reaffirms all previous treaty obligations, including the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, capital T Treaty, with Morocco, in parentheses 1786, which serves as a cornerstone of its international legal standing. The principle of sovereign immunity is hereby reaffirmed, ensuring that no foreign court or tribunal may exercise jurisdiction over the Imperial Royal Kingdom or its officials. The Imperial Royal Kingdom recognizes the jurisdiction of international courts only as mutually agreed through treaties, treaties, capital T, and solely in cases where the Imperial Royal Kingdom's sovereignty is respected. All diplomatic representatives of the Imperial Royal Kingdom shall enjoy full diplomatic immunity under the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, in parentheses 1961, and shall be recognized by all member states of the United Nations. In alignment with the principles of economic sovereignty, the Imperial Royal Kingdom hereby announces the assurance of its Nama Gold Sovereigns currency, Nama Sovereigns Gold back attached bonds sureties attached, Nama Tashi coins, and Nama Sovereign currency as the official medium of exchange within its territories. The Imperial CMYE Treasury is entrusted with the management of this currency, which will support sustainable development, infrastructure, and national prosperity. The ERP, all cap, shall collect duties, tariffs, and postage under the Imperial CMYE Treasury, Imperial Treasury Authority. The Imperial Royal Kingdom asserts its economic independence from global financial institutions, ensuring that its wealth and resources are managed for the benefit of its people. The assurance of the Nama Earth Keepers symbolizes the Imperial Royal Kingdom's commitment to economic self-sufficiency and its rejection of foreign economic exploitation, Droit. Enforced and given under the Imperial Great Seal _:space, effective immediately upon recording with the IMYRS, all caps, ECMYE-RKR, all caps, Royal Annals and Royal Ecclesiastical Archives, and recognized internationally via full faith and sovereign gold credit, Droit. This is royal law, decreed with full faith, credit, and territorial sovereignty, witnessed by the master-fire deity, the dwellers and all celestial kin, underscored, full stop, smiley face. So be it decreed, underscored. This Imperial Royal Post Great Seals Proclamation, Imperial Royal Post Proclamation, Imperial Royal Post Constitution, and Imperial Royal Official Decree for the IROHEM and ECMYE-RKR, all caps, were signed and sealed, underscored, into Imperial law on the territorial sovereign soil, underscored, of Amexem, ancient land of Al-Marak, / Morocco, Yamassee, and Uakshatun, D. Dugdamania, henceforth,
Washistaw-Turner. Come on.
ECMYE-IRKR, all caps, in parentheses, the oldest independent autonomous autochthon kingdom / nation on earth, in parentheses, dated Tuesday of 25th droid.
Oh, you broke out. It was Tuesday. I hit 13 of May,
Tuesday,
2025.
13th of May, my bad. Let me read that again. On the territorial, all right, let me start from scratch. So be it decreed, underscore, this Imperial Royal Post Great Seals Proclamation, Imperial Royal Post Proclamation, Imperial Royal Post Constitution, and Imperial Royal Official Decree for the IROHEM and ECMYE-RKR, all caps, were signed and sealed, underscored, into Imperial law on the territorial sovereign soil, underscored, of Amexem, ancient land of Al-Marak, / Morocco, Yamassee, and Uakshatun, Dugdamania, henceforth, the ECMYE-RKR, all caps, in parentheses, the oldest independent autonomous autochthon kingdom / nation on earth, in parentheses, dated Tuesday, 13th of May, 2025, Droit, and witness whereof, the Imperial Royal Post Great Seals Proclamation, Imperial Royal Post Proclamation, Imperial Royal Post Constitution, and Imperial Royal Official Decree for the IROHEM and ECMYE-RKR, all caps, issued this Tuesday, 13th day of May, 2025, under the Imperial Royal Seals, is hereby signed and sealed, underscored, into Imperial law with the gold signature of His Sovereign Majesty, Emperor, Samhu, Amini-Ray, Pope Adeloye, / Samhu, Samson-Ray, aka Thunder-Fire, / King Louis 20, and hereto for underscored have affixed underscored my official Imperial Royal Gold signature and raised Imperial Royal seals for authentication, binding, nut pro tunc in perpetuity ad infinitum, droid each, exclamation point 3 times, smiley face, respectfully and lawfully as I remain, live signature, gold live signature, His Imperial Majesty.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, cool.
That's cool, because that's the end of it. And you're just talking about the bond down here at the bottom, and they don't understand that. Because of the equity we got, it's a 996 trillion bond that's attached to this post. So they got to come some real time. To activate the Treaty of Bern, that's a $10 stamp process. That's on the right, and then you sealed it with your thumbprint up top live, attached to the government, and then you seal at the bottom, attaches that whole situation there. And then on the right, you went ahead and signed in the authenticated the unified post seal with your royal seal at the bottom. And you sign over the bond, and it's active in peace by decree, by treaty. That's draw in for. So you see, so now that's bonded. Everything you write is bonded from this point on. And they got to prove they got a real live bond. That's a live bond. That's why you see that persona non gratas out there. They got 880 says T and bond on that thing. So whatever that clown done did or attempted to do to the state, you see, he running. All of them running. You feel me? But they can't bond themselves. They got to come through your post. So they all now they what? They treated as now fraudsters. See? You see I come in and set everything straight, right?
Right.
It's like what you say, they walked into another four-corner box, huh?
Can't get out of it.
And
There
you
ain't no
get out.
four corner box.
All right.
You mess with a sovereign entity and you have got no status on your other end.
Right on.
So you gotta get caught up, okay?
Yes.
All right. You know, me and that notebook paper, you know, that notepad you're supposed to keep on here, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, so there ain't no question, y'all. We're gonna dance on out of here. You feel me? Because we 20 some years we 20 some years a lot ahead about 95% of the world. So you
Okay.
see, so you know, we way out there. They gonna try to dissect this now, you feel me? They can't touch it. They gonna try to steal some words out and put it on the paper, make it look deep. But and you know, like now I say, silence come to life. Accountability is a must now, right?
Yeah.
So now they activated true to burn. So yeah, but you gotta be a true sovereign. And you gotta with a gold signature, activate the tree to burn. So they ain't been touched since 1800. You feel me? Now look at your status. Were you able to activate that treaty? And you got a 48-star flag up there on the side of your bond. So now that makes that flag up there worth how much? 999 says T, which makes your what? Your constitution worth what? 999 says T. So you got 999 says T on your constitution now. That's bonded with your gold and everything you're doing and what you got in your house, and you can write off of that what? See, you can never write. Look, they got 300 million people in America, and they say they're 36 trillion in debt. How many zeros is a trillion?
I think we said it was something like 18 or 20 something.
Trillion right off a billion.
Trillion.
All
Okay.
right, so how many a million got?
Millions got six.
9, right?
6 for a
Million
million.
got 9, right?
A million has 6 zeros.
Million has 6 zeros.
That's 100,000. 900,000
Million
got
has
okay. That's
12.
6. You going to you
7.
going then you got to get a million. That's seven. That's 7 digits there.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many a billion got?
Got
You got to
nine.
tack on 3, right?
Yeah.
9 zeros plus a digit.
Okay. So how many a billion got? Let me say a trillion got then.
Billion got
18.
12 zeros plus
So
a
you got
digit.
12, you got 15 zeros, right?
Yeah.
Well, you got
18.
21 zeros.
Yeah, it is.
And that's just on this post here. On your state, you got what is it? 33 zeros. You feel me? But you
Right.
got to realize one sets to you. It'll take them a million years to get that. You feel me?
Word.
So you see, I stepped on the scene in new Mansa Musa, right? So you got your own sovereign currency. So now y'all ambassadors going out to get what? To do business and get and finish getting recognized and get on out there, right?
Yes.
And we open our doors when we want to, not when at demand. We open when we want to and what we need. You like them apples, huh? When last time you had a whole call like that?
Imagined it.
Never.
Never.
That mind of yours, you imagine. Woo-wee. Sorry, fucking with you. All right. So
Respect.
we ain't got no questions. Let's close this thing out the castle.
All right then.
Everybody
Okay.
cool?
Yeah, but
I'll
Princess,
let you handle it. It's your show. Come on. I yield.
All right. So before we close the reading of this Imperial Royal Post Great Seals Proclamation, full colon, I ask our listening audience to keep in mind that His Imperial Majesty has decreed and granted limited delegated authority to all NAMA, all cap nationals, small n, non-executive directors in parentheses NEDs, and non-directors in parentheses NDs who are skilled and qualified to operate the sovereign state jurisdiction. The purpose of this decree is to implement and advance the modalities of commerce, technology, finance, and cultural variegations for the properly formed and operational republic state, in harmony with, underscored, the Imperial CMYE-IRK, all cap, republic, for the country of United States states small s. In closing, we would like to thank a universal traveler, space, dweller emperor, his imperial majesty, in parentheses, capital H dot, capital E dot, capital M dot, and parentheses, space, Samhu, a mini gray, quote, Adelo Yi, end quote, space, and we would like to thank the Imperial Royal Princess, in parentheses, space, Princess Huhaika Samson L, for her presence during this presentation, space. Merv over. I extend much gratitude to all of our Imperial and Imperial Dynamic readers and NAMA, all cap, national, small end, working behind the scene. It is my pleasure, along with the NAMA Earth Keepers, to thank you, our viewing audience, for your attendance, cooperation, and your active participation. Triple exclamation. Stay tuned for further updates from the Imperial CMYE-IRK, all cap, Republic.
All right, hold on. You long-winded. That was real long. You got a couple questions in the chat on YouTube I need to answer.
All right.
Y'all didn't see somebody dropped something in there now time or something. What's on there? What is it?
Yeah, there's one from Now Time. He says, greeting to all in all. My question is, are Nama nationals considered Moroccan nationals in the Empire of Morocco?
What he talking about, the Empire of Morocco? There ain't no such thing. I mean, that's the imperial CMYE-IRK Republic for the country of United States, that state. That's considered maximum us. We got the Kingdom of Morocco who got the royal crown over there, but we Nama nationals. I run it all, I own it all. So I don't see what you're talking about, because who else got status out there to come talk to me? Because ain't nobody got no venue out there. They got a lot of organizations out there claiming they got some Moroccan empire, creating new flags and all that kind of bull crap, but that don't mean nothing. I mean, for those who got a state, you want to play that organization game, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that bullshit, that's fine. But they ain't got no status to do nothing. They ain't got no venue to do nothing. They ain't got no state. They ain't recognized. I'm recognized already as UN. I'm recognized as I'm already docked. So wherever they attempted to get docked, we gone. So you just can't know who we are or how long I've been out here. A lot of them were trying to attach themselves to our venue by trying to fly the red flag and green star. They have no venue. They have no jurisdiction to fly the flag. But the Kingdom of Morocco is not going to cross into another state's jurisdiction. And by the United States being situated as a corporate since 1871, they can't really argue about the red flag and green star inside of their courts. So the Moors get out there and sling all that TV on that Moor scientific crap and Great Seal crap. They out there slinging all that Moorish doctrine, but they ain't got no venue where to drop it. So if they really want to say they Moors out there, they should have a contract with Morocco like we do with the treaty. How we operate, that's our business. You see the red flag up here, that's the Emperor of Morocco old flag that got cut down. I raised the flag, and now you see my royal crown on top of it. That's out there on the market, jurisdiction-wise. So the flag you see right here on the front page, it represents our jurisdiction. We don't need to come back and pick up the red flag and green star, because it's already docked at the sovereign state, United Nations, on the international arena as under the Kingdom of Morocco. So unless these American sovereign citizens over here can come and show where they got a contract with Morocco, they commit. That's why they call it dirty Moors. That's why Drew Ali was talking about dirty Moors, because they reclaim the jurisdiction that they don't own. So now that jurisdiction fly under our courts. But we ain't got, so we're gonna let the United States take care of it, because they can't allow these crazy whatever groups out here who got contracts with the state, because they learned about apostille process and all that stuff that we were teaching over the years, and try to claim they got some status. Well, that's cool. They just have to come to our court and prove they got right to fly that flag on the jurisdiction of the Kingdom of Morocco. Because you stand in America flying a foreign state's flag, but you ain't got permission from the foreign state. That's treason itself. Just to think about it. So if you feel like I can fly because I'm a Moor, well, no. Last time I checked, you said you was an African American, black, nigga, whatever name make you feel good, on your birth certificate and your Social Security card and your driver license that you got to use right now, because if you got bank cards and all that stuff. So where your venue at? You ain't outside the venue of the United States. So what more empire, Moorish empire that you claim in here? Because I own it. So where's it at? It ain't docked under my venue. So wherever they is out there, don't make me no different. I ain't got time. I'm not a junkie on Facebook and all that stuff, because that's just a platform that's being used. But a lot of people claim a whole lot of stuff. But you ain't got no venue, you ain't got no state, you ain't got nothing. So I hear them out there. I heard, over the years. But what Moroccan empire are you talking about? So what else that question say?
He doesn't say no more. He doesn't specify.
Hmm?
But he doesn't specify. He doesn't say any more, apart from our Moroccan nationals. Yeah, nationals of
All right. Well, anybody else see anything in that question I need to answer? Let me go over here.
No, I think we explained that personally in entirety.
Oh yeah, he said emperor. That is the second question. That's why I asked the question. I knew he put two there. He said, does the emperor say who many raised the emperor of the Moroccan Empire? I'm over the whole thing. Okay. Yeah. But we have our own. See, the whole thing that the old school Great Seal and all them have been teaching since 82, around that, since then, all that so-called research that boy in Philly did, and all these goons out here in the back studying. I went to Connecticut. Got my damn thought on. Oh, where was I going with that?
So all of them out here studying.
What you say, Shajar?
You said boys and they teaching, you got all of them out here studying.
And you call them.
What that? You gotta go back a little farther.
A little bit further.
All right, y'all got super method down your brain. Recall what you got.
He's saying you were calling them goons that was out here slinging the paper, and they were.
But they were doing something else. I was going somewhere before that. I was answering that question. What that question about the empire over Morocco? Then you came in with your craziness. And shut my thought. And then you can't. Then you won't recall what I was at. So that's kind of terrible, right?
Mm-hmm.
It ain't terrible. It's better. But I won't get to it. Let me think here for a second.
Saying through the travels that the Moors they was teaching, and these goons out here are studying or whatever. But then, like you said, the customer stopped you. So
they were following the guy in Philly in the teachings.
All right, so so when you go into that, all the teaching that we done out through the Great Seal, when I was down studying the era, Chief Black Eagle, Thunderbird with the what they call themselves saviors now, whatever they are. Back in the day, Nubian Nation. All right. And all that Moorish teaching, all of that stuff was docked. You call it our Moroccan Empire. All that stuff was docked under the country of the United States, that states under the embassy of United States embassy in Morocco, Kingdom of Morocco. So all that stuff they got to claim and they don't understand contract law because all that stuff got surrendered because they lost their seat. They act like they want to reinvent the seat like it never dissipated. The seat gone. They don't have no authority no more. Just like we talked about King Louis XX, lost his seat, lost his authority. I came back and gave that seat authority on the Moor. That's why the Pope wrote the motu proprio, because the Moor got a seat back. They know this behind the scene, but the cats out there on the market don't have no clue. They just want to tax themselves and try to use it to get privileges or whatever in America, and it can't happen because the courts is set up to do and work your birthright contract. So you don't have no venue to bring in your so-called Empire of Morocco, or because you wouldn't ever be in their court. You wouldn't get past the Solicitor General, because then you're dealing from diplomat to diplomat, and you should have an embassy or a consulate office overseeing your nationals that's carrying your documentation. So you got people out there slang paperwork who've been on my ship and then created fake IDs and got out there on the market. They don't think I know, but I do. And they get away with certain things because they can't be on our record. They don't understand the whole contract. But as from this point on, since 13th of May, all that stuff shutting down. Just a matter of time. Because they got the real ID. They know our status. They know what we got on the market. So anything outside of that, after this, where we at now, it's gonna get shut down. So whatever they claim it out there, they got an Empire of Morocco, whatever they claim they got, it ain't came from our court. And if it's hindering our jurisdiction and on our land, well, our court can summon them to our court so they can prove their status. And the only way they get into our court, they got to pay gold and silver. We're not taking no United States credit card debit, vehicle, and all that bullshit. No, you got to step in there under your gold status, like it's under the Constitution. So,
no, yeah.
So I think I answered that question, right?
Yes, sir.
So if he was on, we could go back and forth, but evidently he might be gone or sitting back. But you know I roll. I'm here to build with you. I'm your brother. But we gotta move this state. You feel me? So outside of that, Niketha, you can go ahead and close it out. There ain't nothing else in the chat.
All right.
Princess Nefertiti Ayana, congratulate you on your 22nd.
Oh, appreciate that.
That
You know, I had a day so great. I can't even, I don't even want to put it on the wire. It's just too heavy. But I sealed that 22 years. You can guarantee that. And going into the night shout out right now. Oh, it's a whole new start. It's all fresh. It's all sealed. It's all good. It's done. And I didn't know I had to do it till I got out and did it. So, and I've been going ever since the morning, right? And so, just enjoying the day because it's my anniversary. And it just got things done in a certain way. We didn't. You just had to be around me sometimes to see that magic, how that magic works. Ain't that right, McCann? Pay the Ray. We do. Walk out here, Ray.
That's right.
Button in, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Right. That's right.
So all right, we'll go ahead and close it out, the castle.
All right. With that, we say, Salam alaikum ma'ashawut, and may the dwellers be with all of us, divine beings! Exclamation. And may you continue to be a universal traveler, full : space, dweller - emperor, full : space, Samhu, Amini - Re, quote, Adelo Yi. Divine beings! Exclamation. Yeesh. Smiley face.
Smiley face. East. Yo, and the field, we had to cut this in half. Make it part 1 and part 2, okay? I know he's still on. I stepped out. Yep. All right. So we good?
Yes, we got it.
Yes, we
All right,
good.
cool.
Good.
All right, East. Salam alaikum, Ashru.
He's
Commercial.
Family Marshall with them, bro.
So you know we're gonna count down from 13, right? Because today, what, Friday 13, y'all?
Friday
Bam!
13.
13, 12,
Yeah.
11, 10,
10, 10,
9,
9,
8,
8,
8,
7,
7,
7,
6,
6,
6,
5,
5,
4,
4,
3,
3,
3,
2, 1. We
2,
2,
still could get on rhythm. Y'all
1.
still don't know how to do house music. East.
That's
Yeah,
following.
man. I'm teach you how to jam Woody Day.